Game 24, and yet somehow it feels like that is the end of the season. Not actually, obviously. Plenty of runway, I guess. But it kind of just feels like this is who you are at this point. I don't think that there's anything positive from this group to look forward to that would suggest things would turn around, barring a massive change, whether it be from coach, if it's from, the nucleus of what is made up here for this team. But genuinely, I just don't think that what they have in there and who they are and what they're built of is going to be good enough for this team to take that next step to get over this hump and get out of it. I just don't know how, watching these guys right now, you could have any type of optimism that things would turn around. I mean, it was a better start in the first period. I thought that they came out better. I thought that they were more prepared to open the game than what we've seen previously. And then as the game progresses, you see all the warts that they've had where it just starts to disappear. That positive approach, the energy towards the game, and in any general enthusiasm seems to kind of dwindle away. Then the second period comes. They've been terrible all season long in the second period, and the game just gets out of hand. That's it. As soon as that comes, you're basically looking at this going, you're praying that you can get out of it. Like, it's no longer a hope of like, well, maybe they could come away winning this period, or maybe there's a positive to happen here. It's like, I hope we don't walk away from this period down 10-0, because that's kind of what you deserve. And yet it's Joseph Woll who again makes this thing much closer than it probably deserves to be. So, I mean, if that guy's paying for a single thing on these trips at all, these guys should be giving their heads a shake. And yet somehow the way that they play for each other, or the fact that they don't play for each other, tells me that probably would be on his own paying for shit at this point. But I could go on and on and on about stuff here, and we will continue to break things down here on the Leaf Station After Dark post-game show. But before we do, just a quick reminder to people, Super Chats, proceeds from our Super Chat do go to Sick Kids Charity. Amazing cause to be donating to. You want your question or your comment read here on the show, I will read and answer every single one of them. We'll break them all down here on the Leaf Station After Dark. Very special guest here who will be joining us in just a moment. But proceeds from our Super Chats do go to Sick Kids Charity, and we'll start off our Super Chats for today with this one that comes in from Nate Dogg. The only question is whether Berube is a completely ineffective coach, an effective but terrible coach, or an ineffective, terrible coach. I don't think that's the only thing, Nate Dogg. I think that there is a lot of stuff going into what is happening with this Maple Leafs team for them to be where they are right now. It's frustrating, and I think everybody is to blame, but I don't think it starts and stops at Craig Berube. I think Craig Berube is a piece of it. I don't think he is the entire puzzle. With that, let's get to our first guest of the show here tonight. I'm glad he's joining us, especially watching what we just saw, and maybe he can answer some questions that those of you in the chat have, and I have myself. But welcome to the show, Jay Rosehill. Rosie, it's been a while since we've had you. How you feeling after this Leafs loss tonight?
What just happened, dude? I thought they had her together that game. It was I tweeted out, I think I cursed them. I said, big 20 minutes from this group. Like, can you dig a little deeper and finish this thing off? And just fucking backwards they go, man. Like, gross. Washington covered like -1.5. It's with 6 minutes left. Like, what? I thought they played tighter all game. I think they changed their neutral zone forecheck to a really passive 1-1-1-3. It seemed like they were. Oh, I thought they were more connected tonight, and it looked like it through the majority of the game. I know they were being outshot, and then just this collapse of this epic collapse, man.
Yeah.
It's so clear this team doesn't have it.
Yeah.
And everyone's searching for answers and screaming to high heaven. I don't know what the answer is. Like, I'm leaning towards, like, what does blow it up even mean? Like, who do you even, what kind of deals can you even make in this market with this team? But it's gross. Like, we can't rely on anything besides Joseph Woll, and that's not even enough to get a job done. Like, that's the only shining thing. Like, even JT, who I thought was the engine through the first period that got them, a 2-goal lead, he's -3 at the end of the night. Like, my God, this team has nothing going for it. It's cruel.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you too. It's like it looked a lot better. It felt a lot better. It felt like they were much more engaged. I know that there was a period of time where I looked up at the clock and I think the shots were 12-1 for Washington. But even at that point, it was like, okay, it's not great, but it hasn't felt like the Leafs were just getting their shit kicked in their own zone. It was just kind of like, hey, maybe this isn't as quite indicative about what's going on here on the score clock. And then the Leafs all of a sudden pushed, and it was like they had 5-6 straight chances. They were able to hem Washington in their zone. They got a couple of lucky bounces there. You look at the 141 seconds into the game. That one probably should have been a goal for the Caps, but they get the advantage of the whistle early, and then Rosie, it's simple things. It's things that you look at that have plagued them through the beginning of the season. And I mean, even to just go generic on some of the stuff, it's like you get into the second period, you've stunk all year in second periods. Like, okay, you need to at least, even if you're not going to be as good in the second period as you are in the other two during the entire season, it's very plausible that that's the case. You got to make sure you're not as bad in the second period as you have been. And they just reverted right back. They went back to, we are fucking atrocious in our own zone. You do whatever you want and you can walk all over us and take momentum back. And they kind of started to do that. Obviously the score was not exactly reflective of that, but it started to feel like things swung back towards Washington. Then you look at the goals scored by the Caps. Again, it's just terrible, 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 terrible defensive breakdowns that you see from these guys. So it's just, we talk all year about them and all summer about heavier hockey, being heavier and bigger and harder to play against. And then you watch these goals. The first one that's scored, it's Morgan Rielly and Jake McCabe basically so close to each other they could hold hands standing in front of the net, and neither one of them is doing a great job boxing anybody out. McCabe gets on the wrong side of McMichael, rebound comes out, and it's his guy who gets the first step to the goal. You look at the next one, it's Morgan Rielly puck watching the corner, common denominator here if we see where we're going on that one, but he's puck watching the corner, and a guy sneaks down backdoor right in behind him, and Beauvillier scores from in the crease. And it's like, these are egregious errors that don't need to be made, and this team just somehow does not have the ability to clue into this stuff right now. It's levels of pathetic, embarrassing, frustrating, confusing that I just don't even know how to comprehend at this point, Rosie.
And you know what? In the D zone, it's the forwards too. On that winner, McMahon's standing up high right beside JT.
Yeah.
I mean, as a player who's played your whole life, you feel naked and out of place when you're in those positions. And this team is pressing, and they have horses to pour it to you. You'd think you'd err on the side of being too tight. And they just miss assignments, token peewee shit. It's just lost on them. At that point in the game, if you're going somewhere, it's a start and a stop back to your fucking safe haven, your home of your position. And they're just not. in that league, man, you leave your spot open for a second and everybody's eyes just start going off, and they're going to find it. A guy will get there and the puck will get there. It happens so fast, and they don't even seem to be aware of it. Like, that was my spot. What the fuck are you doing? You had this game in your hand and time was ticking down. And yeah, it does look like they're holding on for dear life in the third period. But how do they even get into that spot? You see them trying to dump and chase and shit. And it's one man all by himself, like chipping it by a guy, and they have numbers and he's trying to get around him. And even if he gets there, what the hell is he going to do with it? There's nobody with him. There's no support. Like, the dump and chase model is to just come wave after wave and overwhelm them. And even if they get there, they have nothing, and there is sticks and bodies on them, and they think that they're outlet, but that's covered by a guy who drove his ass to get there. And it just creates chaos. They create fuck all. And obviously a lot of heat on Berube right now. And I just think that the problem was that you tried to build this team to play heavy and all that shit. There's nobody heavy on this team. Fucking Dakota Joshua. Are you kidding me? He's heavy. Like, is Yarncroke going to do anything? Like, Bobby McMahon is just the whole bottom six is just warm bodies at this point in time.
Yeah.
And they're just rendered ineffective. It's like so many of them can't keep up to the league and to the style of play that the opposition's playing. It doesn't matter if you're playing Chicago or Pittsburgh or Carolina or whoever, like, take your pick. They're just overwhelmed and they're outmatched. And is that a Craig Berube problem? Well, they won the Atlantic last year, and we're like, whatever you want to say, they're hanging in there and had the Florida Panthers in their palm of their hand for the first half of the series and had a big game 5, and got it to 7. Like, they have success under that structure, and then make moves to try to be able to get guys that'll play better at that structure, but no effectiveness whatsoever. And their D are atrocious compared to last year, but they're getting goaltending. Getting goaltending, and they can't play hockey. Yeah, I'm sitting there, like, I text you, I said, I don't know what the fuck you want me to say here, man.
I know.
This is just gross. Like, if things stay the way they are, sure, they could get Stoli back and Tanev back. You think that's enough to, like, it would take a monumental shift in chemistry, in everything. I'm on team blow this thing up. And again, I don't even know what that means. Like, these $3-4 million guys, there's just a bunch of useless $4 million players. Like, and then your superstars, like, Willie's a defensive liability. Austin Matthews looks like a second tier centerman. Where the hell do they go from here, man? It's a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, okay, so let's go a step back here. You talked about Berube. Is the first person that you're going to throw blame on then for this situation, if we are to play the blame game and start pointing fingers, on Brad Treliving for bringing in the guys that they did? Like, is that the first place to start looking for constructing it this way and picking the wrong guys? Because I'll be honest with you, as it stands right now, Dakota Joshua, dud. Matthias Michelli, dud. I'm not going to throw Nick Waugh into that category. I think he's improved, and I think he looks like he's starting to find his footing. Again, tonight I thought was a little bit better of a game, but terrible to start the season, better recently. Then you look down at I don't even know who you want to throw. Max Domi, who was a signing when he first got here, was great for passion purposes, and then it seems to have kind of fizzled out after that. There's very obvious ups, there's very obvious downs with his play, and you just look at these guys and the way that they're playing right now, it just seems like they're old, slow, and soft. Does it start with Brad Treliving? Is that the guy we have to be looking at right now for the way that this lineup and roster is constructed?
Well, like, now that we have hindsight, like, everyone was pleased with what he had done when he made moves. Like, the overwhelming sense in this market that is Leafs Nation was, like this play, like this signing, like this trade. And then, they don't perform on the ice. Like, I'm always like, a GM is putting names on paper, right? And I think I was on board, and it made sense with the moves that he made. And then Carlo's just shit this year. The goalies, Stolarz took
Carlo,
a
yeah.
huge step back. The D-men can't fucking play hockey anymore. Like Joshua, Waugh, and Michelli, what do they do out there? They're not doing anything. The whole team collectively, they look like, I want someone to play mean and cocky. And these guys look fucking scared to lose a puck battle. I'm taking the puck out. I might lose it. It's just, they're scared and they're worried and they're looking around worried. Left, right, and center, the D zone. They're worried. Fuck, I got to tie up this guy's stick. You think you're going to win hockey games and overwhelm an NHL team with that fucking mentality? I'd like someone to get fucking mean and cocky and arrogant and fuck you. There's zero of that. That's what Nick was supposed to bring, and Joshua's supposed to bring, and Domi's supposed to be, and you want McMahon to adopt that, and you want your studs to be studs and cocky, and like, Nylander's got a little bit of arrogance to him, and it's kind of more of a, I don't give a fuck about anything arrogance, not really what I'm looking for, but like, there's no swagger in this team, there's no confidence in this team, and it just leads to desperate gripping the stick hockey. Like, guys get breakaways and it's just like, fuck me, and they just slide it to their backhand and get pushed to the fucking corner. Like, there's no mojo on this team, and you tried to change the DNA. You didn't bring anyone in with any of the DNA you're looking for. And everyone's like, bring this guy in, bring that guy in. Well, for who and how? It's harder than it looks. Like, anybody calling for Tree Living's head, I would love to see them with the Reigns this summer do better. Like, what were the plays that you think you could make? And that's why I'm just like, I don't have any fucking answers. I like Berube. It's the obvious choice, and it's what's going to happen if they keep playing this way. But I don't think that you bring in a new coach and everything, and team's just flying. Like, open it up and play a loop and shoot style, and like take the fucking leash off Michelli to go fucking have 6 turnovers a night. Good luck. You will get blown the fuck out. They can't keep the puck out of their net. They can't get out of their zone. They can't enter with possession. They can't get the puck back. They can't win puck battles. They can't get it off the wall. They can't do anything together. It's a nightmare, man. And heads will roll, sure, but for the better, I don't know, man. I maybe like make any deal you can fucking make, just for the sake of getting different bodies in there. I mean, and then good luck to you, sir. Like, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what the hell they're going to do.
I don't know what the next move is either here. And to anybody who's going to try to suggest that it's because they lost the guy, that guy is on pace for 78 points right now, and his team has lost another one here today. So it has absolutely nothing to do with that. I think it's a combination of shit that's going on right now, Rosie. Like, I think that's just one thing after another that is not helping this group. Collectively, you look at the defensive side of things, you just look at the guys back there. Obviously, missing Tanev is a big, big loss. Having him not play in this lineup hurts you big time. You know, that's other guys who are getting minutes, or just playing in general, that they shouldn't be getting matchups they shouldn't be getting. Like, that just puts you in a tough spot right then and there. It also hurts when you're going to have guys matched up with other guys that maybe don't help them. It doesn't necessarily mix well for them, whatever the case is going to be, i.e. a Morgan Rielly having to play with maybe a Brandon Carlo when maybe it's better suited for him to be with Tanev, or McCabe now playing with Benoit instead of him playing with OEL or Tanev like we saw last year. So those things don't help. But even that said, like, Jake McCabe is not the reason this team's losing games, but he's taken a significant step back this season. Morgan Rielly is just like, we're just hanging on to this guy at this point. Like, there's nothing you could do about it. And people saying, send him to Vancouver. Vancouver doesn't fucking want that. Like, I'm sorry, Vancouver is not just picking up the player for the sake of it because, like, oh, Toronto wants to get rid of this guy. Here, come home to us. Like, we'll take you. You're from here. That's not fucking happening. Like, to your point about who are you trading, that's not happening. Like, that, you're not getting rid of that guy just that easy to do that. People don't want the contract. He's got a no move. He doesn't want to move. You look around, Brennan Carlo has not worked out either. And then you move on to kind of some of the points you've made. It's like, now you're in a position here where you're looking at Austin Matthews coming back and being like, in a way, you're effectively asking the guy to be a savior, right? Like, that's what we're hoping he can do here, is come back and be up the $13.25 million captain, the guy who's won a Hart Trophy and Rocket Richards. And it's like, he just blends in. He blends into the game. Like, he does not look like a superstar. He looks like a really good player who could score some goals and maybe help you out. But, like, when I watch Dylan Strome on the other side, I feel like I'm watching the same fucking thing here, Rosie. And I know that's an extreme comparison I'm making, but just Dylan Strome also has offensive opportunities tonight. Dylan Strome also plays well defensively. Dylan Strome also wins faceoffs. And I look over at Matthews and I'm like, what are you giving me that, like, that guy is not right now? It's just players not playing to the superstar level, whether that's because of injuries. It's guys coming in here and not playing the way that they're supposed to be playing. Because, again, to the point of it, like, the Dakota Joshua thing is just shocking. Michelli, sure, that one swung and you missed. You failed. Like, that's a mistake. Brad Treliving, you made a mistake. That's wrong. We can admit that. Hand up, you admit that. The Joshua one is confusing to me because you're looking at it and being like, you played a certain way in Vancouver that, like, Rick Tocchet leaned on you in their playoff run all the way through that series against Nashville, where it was like, Dakota Joshua was creating havoc on the forecheck. He was a problem when it came to physicality, and he could score goals. And here, it just like he looks like a 6'4" Matthias Michelli. Like, he plays like a pussy right now. I'm sorry, he just does. And then you watch these guys, and you're watching the dump and chase style of hockey that somehow does not seem to work. Like, it just does not work for them because they don't want to chase. And it's like, well, that's Craig Berube implementing this. So all of that to say, it's a long way of me getting here, Rosie, to like, everyone is to blame. Yes, Craig Berube, at the base of it, wants them to play a simplistic style, which I do agree with, and we saw it work last year, them starting to buy into that style, that is. But then it's like, okay, maybe don't just fucking dump the puck in every time. Maybe let's like adapt how we break the puck out, because I don't know if it's guys not in the right spot. I don't know if we have just brain dead defensemen, but like, you can never break the puck out properly, and then we can never get the puck back. We can't possess the puck, and then the guys that you have don't fucking play hard. So when it comes to playing defensively, winning battles in the corners, in front of the net, in front of your own net, you can't do that either. So you've got nothing, from the GM decisions to the guys on the ice to the fucking guys coaching them. Everyone is at fault right now for this mess that you have on your hands.
Yeah, it certainly isn't one thing. It is a multitude of problems. Like, yes, the guys they brought in are warm bodies. That's about it.
Yeah.
Your leadership is non-existent. Your D don't really play D. Nobody seems interested in having a heartbeat out there. Like, with the breakouts, it's the times where the Leafs do have possession, it's just off of broken plays. Like, it's a guy kind of like leaving the zone, and then a chip or a stick deflection. Then he's got to turn around backwards and garner the puck facing the wrong fucking way. And then time and space is gone. He's got to try to get it to sign. Then someone else is fucking all by themselves. And it's just this mash, disconnected hockey. And it wasn't for a good point of that game. Like, they were obviously tightening up the neutral zone, tightening up their D zone, trying to keep shit to the outside, trying to play positional hockey. Their breakouts were still ugly, but just nothing. There's no flow. They never have a wave coming at the other team. They never have numbers. They never have full possession with space. They're never a threat. They never score off the rush. It's like they're lucky to get a couple of goals off John Tavares working his nuts off in the corner behind the net, using the walls like a fucking savant, and he manages to will one. finds somebody and they bang it home. Oh my God, the Leafs scored. And it's like, how far is that getting you? It's getting you nowhere. And the sickening thing is they have just gone through the easiest part of their schedule, playing a bunch of non-playoff teams, and they are in hell right now. Like, it's not getting any easier. I have no idea what the future holds for this team. I honestly don't, but I am worried that it is going to be dark.
Look, here, you're not going to fire the guy tonight because you have a game tomorrow. You're on the road for a bit, but let me lay this out to you because I think this. I've had to answer this too many times on the post game, and we've had callers agree with me. We had other people who think that there should be a different approach to it. There's some people who seem to believe that maybe the answer's still in there. This is my thought, Rosie, and I want to know what you think, and tell me if I'm just out to lunch here right now. You're not going to fire the guy today/tomorrow because you play tomorrow night, but assuming another loss or I don't even know. Like, let's just say you get out of this weekend, you're probably losing tomorrow because I don't fucking trust anything this group does. So you get yourselves to Sunday. You've lost both of these games. You're now going to probably be last in the Eastern Conference. I think the move is to fire Craig Berube. Not because this is his fault. Let me be abundantly clear about that. The blame is not at the feet of Craig Berube. He is part of the problem. He is not the problem. And I think him, Sheldon Keefe, and Mike Babcock, regardless of what you think of each of those guys, probably went home every single night wondering what the hell is wrong with the guys sitting in that room every single day, because I think all three of them could at least see the same shit that's going on right now from a character standpoint at bare minimum. But I think you fire Berube, you bring someone else in. I don't know who that guy is, but you just wipe the staff, you try something else. Once you've done that, you give them 10, 15 games, see what's happened, and if there is no change at all, whether it's in the general enthusiasm to play and be in every game, if it's the way that they play on the ice in terms of structure and execution and, just pace of play right now, if there's no change in that, no matter what, you have an issue on your hands. There is no fixing this shit, and then that's when it's full-blown tire fire. Because the only saving grace, Rosie, is that the East is a fucking disaster right now. Like, you win tonight, you would have been 3 points back of the Ottawa Senators, who were in third place in the Atlantic. Regardless of if you think they deserve it or not, like, you can smell them, and this team's been shit for 24 fucking games this season. Like, they don't deserve to be in that place. But that's kind of why I think you make one move, you give them their last chance, and you say, hey, you didn't respond to that. Let's bring something else in here, give you a different opportunity, and if this doesn't work, you're all out of here. Like, this is a complete tire fire, and we start again. That's my approach to it, because otherwise, I think it's pointless to be going and trying to add pieces to just try to patchwork your way through this. That's why I snapped. People don't know. That's why I snapped in the group chat yesterday when I saw there was a report that the Leafs were interested in, like, Boone Jenner. I'm like, there's no disrespect to Boone Jenner, but if you think you're patchworking your way out of this by adding Boone Jenner to this roster, like, you are on a different fucking planet than everyone else right now.
Like, Austin Matthews and Willie, like, I know that I don't love the leadership on this team. I don't I've kind of always had this problem with Austin Matthews that I haven't been vocal about, because it's just like, fuck, you got a superstar that can put up a ton of goals, but like, when you see those teams win the Stanley Cup and what their leadership group takes upon themselves and how they do it, and like, to just chew your way through like a fucking dog, he doesn't have that. Like, he hasn't had it for 10 years and he's never going to get it. He's just kind of stoic and just give me a chance to rip the puck and I can rip it with the best of them. I know where the puck can be, and I know where to go to score some goals, and I am goddamn good at that. And yeah, he's got other sides of his game too, but he's just not that dynamic leader. And Willie's got his own Willie problems going on. He's, again, these guys are like, you can just look at a piece of paper and be like, what are you talking about, Rosie? Well, fucking pay attention to what it takes to win the Stanley Cup, and then what you see from these guys, even if their numbers are unbelievable. And it's like it's the better part of a decade to get yourself out of that. Like, we have no fucking draft picks. It is a dark time. And not to get off topic, but like, Craig Berube will be fired, and I just don't see it getting any better when someone else comes in. Like, if you're going to fire Berube, I would pretty much clean house, man. Like, from the back end and the PP and everybody, man. But like, what are they going to say? Like, I know they'll probably get that little coach bump, and I don't know if they tune him out or what. And I know that Craig Berube is kind of like, I played for him. He's kind of got one lane and he kind of sticks to it, and he's aware of the market that he's in. He's not going to go guns blazing and throw shade in the media. He's going to stay positive and try to like not have this thing unravel. I don't know if he's tried booting garbage cans and flipping fucking Gatorade jugs or anything yet.
I'm going to assume he has, Rosie. I got to think he's got to at this point. Like, I could not imagine Greg Berube has held that together through 24 fucking games this year, given the bullshit we're seeing out of those guys right now. Like, I think that one's been used. I would hope at this point that one's been used.
And you'd think so, but like, what is your message tomorrow morning? Like, what is your message? Like, it looks pretty hopeless. Like, they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth, and then they just blow it. Like, you were up 2 goals in this game, and you're getting goaltending, dude. Like, it's scary. I don't know what the answers are, but Hetzel, like, another thing, like, I know this team's worth $4 billion, but like, are they going to let this guy go and then hire a new coach for how much money and then miss the playoffs and lose tens of millions? Like, it's a business. Is that company interested in just peeling off the millions? I don't know. They're the last team to really need to care about that, but they are a business. Did they cut them loose after winning the Atlantic? I don't know. I don't know what the internal conversations are. There's no more president to like filter through. It's just Keith Pelly going, what do I do here? I don't know how that guy fucking thinks. I have no clue. It's frustrating for everyone. They're injured. But like, you got OEL having a career season. Willie's points are through the roof. You got a 34-year-old Jonathan Tavares looking unbelievably good.
Unreal.
This Easton Cowan kid is a bulldog and like is ahead of schedule, and they're this fucking bad still. It's dark, dude. And I'm honestly like, I don't have these strong opinions on this is what you need to do, because it's a disaster. And every option that people are saying to do, I know that's not enough to change what we're watching here. And it is pretty wild that the difference from last year to this year. And it pisses me off even more that the idiots say, well, you lost Mitch Marner. That's the common denominator. He's the reason you're in shambles. You've come unraveled without the guy. And I don't buy it. I think the team's probably a little bit better with him right now, because the guys they replace him with are fucking dog shit. But no, this is, I am worried that this problem goes deep down into the core DNA, and the guy you just gave the C to, yikes, man. And I don't like, the hockey gods are the only thing left to pray to try to have some kind of magical chemistry thing change in here. And like, good luck with that. It's scary. I'm not looking forward to doing shows in the future and to watching more of this. I honestly, just let the heads fucking roll. Sell the farm if you can, like, not the farm, but move bodies around as much as you possibly can. Can everybody, I guess? Like, it's the only bullets left in the chamber, man. But it's fucking ugly. Like, I did not expect them to win that game, and they get some goaltending from Woll again, and they get on the score sheet first for once, and they get the second goal, and they have that cushion. and they still can't hold on. They still lose by 2 in regulation. Fucking disaster, dude. I wish I had more answers.
Yeah, and I mean, I think part of the original problem was the inability. Look, I'm not on these calls, so I don't know what they're like, but it almost just feels like Brad Treliving is just too passively involved in everybody who's available. You know, it was like we all heard about, JJ Paterka. He's in on that one making calls and stuff. And then, I mean, Utah gave up a good return back to Buffalo for JJ Paterka, but it's like, okay, was it that much? Was it something that was not within the realm of possibility for the Maple Leafs? I can't imagine that was the case unless they were demanding something ridiculous. And, you know, I think ultimately it kind of looks back to being like, you needed to add another star player to this team. That didn't have to be a superstar, but it had to be another star player, whether it was Tuck or trying to go out and get a Kempe or a Paterka, or like you tried to get Mikko Rantanen, which was blocked, obviously, but you try to get those pieces. And now you're just missing that. And I think you're at the point here now where it's just like, why would you reward this team by going out and getting that kind of piece and making some desperation move where everybody also knows, every GM, every owner, every president, every scout around the league knows you're dealing from a position of weakness, and they're just going to bend you over in the trade. You've already got bent over in these trades. So why would you do another one where you're just going to go out and try to make some desperation move and hope that it works when you're going to get rinsed on your assets, and then there's no guarantee that guy coming here works, because it feels like the culture and the core of the guys that are here right now are fucked. I mean, I'm sorry. There's just no other way to put it other than it seems like they're fucked, because I agree with you every single way of how you've painted these guys character-wise, the mentality, the attitude, all of it. And then, Rosie, I mean, the other side of the coin would be like, I saw people pointing out, they've quit, they've given up because Marner's not here, or Brad didn't get anybody, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I disagree with that. I don't think that's the case. And B, if they did quit because Mitch Marner isn't here, fuck these guys. And I mean, I'm not saying that is what happened, but if it is, fuck these guys. Like, get them the fuck out of here. Because if that's the mentality that's going on, of like, our friend is gone and we're upset about it, so we're not going to play hockey, then there was a problem to begin with. But I disagree with that was the case from the beginning. I can't imagine a professional athlete would do that.
Yeah, it's not. They're not that fucking hold hands. You lose guys all the time. They offered him the biggest contract in Leafs history, and he turned it down. Is that not what came out? Like, that's not what this play is about at all. And to get guys in here to affect change now, for someone to let go of a player like that, they're going to want draft picks. And we had 2 first-rounders go out the door for Carlo and for Lawton, and we don't have anything. And you want to get rid of Nyes or Cowan? That is the only hope for the next 5 years, is basically on the backs of those guys. Good, like, you can't make this worse by trying to band-aid this dog shit fucking team. And is this rock bottom? It might be, but my worry is that they're going to live at the rock bottom. And I don't know if they're going to clean house with the coaching staff or not, but there might be a time when, like, tanking is their only form of trying to.
Well, let me throw this in. Let me throw this at you, because I understand what you're saying, but I would almost start to look at like the Boston Bruins and what they're doing as the model, if that's going to be the case. And it's probably a conversation for another time, but it's just the only thing I would throw out there at you, where like Boston didn't necessarily tank, but like they still have McAvoy, they still have Pasternak. They just dished off a bunch of pieces, to which some suckers out there maybe went and traded a young guy and a first-round pick for a defenseman who apparently is not that good. I don't know what team that might have been. But they dished off pieces, and they got assets back, and they got younger guys. And I think on a normal year, Boston's probably not where they are in the East. But just, Rosie, I just wanted to jump in that, like, it doesn't have to be from an MLSE or a managerial perspective in there, like full-blown tank. Like, you can accept this not dig your hole deeper by trying to add pieces, and you can find a way to retool. Maybe it is finding a way to get rid of the cap hit that is Morgan Rielly. You're not getting like Quinn fucking Hughes back, which I see people being like, well, throw him in a package to Vancouver. Holy fuck, give your heads a shake. But like, maybe it is trying to find a way to get rid of that. Maybe it is trying to get rid of Chris Tanev to a contender. Maybe it's getting rid of, maybe you have to find a way to trade OEL, who's playing unreal right now, but it's dishing those pieces off to find a way to come back next year and maybe focus around like William Nylander as your centerpiece, and Nyes and Cowan, and I left someone out conveniently. But maybe it's finding ways to use those pieces as your core and then changing what the team looks like and who the big pieces are here, rather than a full tank, is what I'm trying to say.
You've seen them do 3-4 different variations of building a team around Matthews and Nylander, and I mean, people think and said that they were close, but this fucking market isn't interested in close. I just fear that their window is closed, and in a salary cap league, it is difficult to make considerable change quickly, and they've already tried that, and they have no prospects and they have no draft picks. It's a tough place to be, and I'm not, nobody's thrilled with what they have left over from all those moves, man. We're watching it live, and I've been fairly vocal about like canning Craig Berube isn't really the answer. You got to get these guys playing together and pulling on the same rope. Maybe that's not possible, and this road trip, people have already said this road trip will define their season. I think it might define people's jobs as well. Yeah, players and coaches alike. But after this road trip, if we see any more of that, especially, I think we're going to see things happen. And I don't know if it's going to be for the better.
I agree with you. It's not a season defining. I think it's like franchise or era defining at this point. Like, what have you been for the last 10 years, and what are you going to be going forward kind of moment. It's not just this season. This season was tough. It doesn't work. I don't think it's that anymore.
And you're going to look back at all those game sevens and all those blown series and say, why do you think people were so mad? Do you just think you get endless shots at this thing? Like, are you telling me you didn't have a little more to give in those game fucking sevens just to get your team over the finish line? And they were the stunned look on their fucking faces and their shitty body language through all those disgusting losses where they don't even show up. I mean, the lack of dog in these guys that are supposed to be franchise players, it's shocking to me. And they were talking on TV today about why is that? Why is every GM and coach looking for dogs, man? You can't find them. And, the consensus was they're these spoon-fed fucking babies from super hyper AAA, quadruple A, elite hockey, and they didn't have to leave the farm and say, if I don't make this team or make my dent on this league, I'm going back to throwing fucking hay bales. And they didn't develop that dog in them. But it's just, it blows my mind that the opportunity in front of players, and they just aren't willing to go a little bit outside of their comfort zone to get what I would think they so desperately want. Like, your life can be hung on this kind of shit, especially like winning Stanley Cups in Toronto and solidifying yourself and getting big contracts. And I guess people have no problem getting big contracts these days. But like, it just flabbergasts me that when there's opportunity to say, I'm fucking throwing the kitchen sink at this, like I'll fucking die on the ice because I will give everything I have. From what I've watched the last, how many years do you want to go back? It hasn't even crossed their minds, dude. And it shows in their play, and it's fucking sickening. And this poor fan base is just probably in for more fucking hell. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you see it here tonight in some of the decisions that are made by, guys like Matthews, or I don't know where he's at injury or health wise, but I even look at one of the plays, third period, they're down by 1 goal, and puck kind of comes up the wall. Matthews is at the blue line, and it's about it ends up going about 7 feet, 6 feet off the wall into towards the middle of the ice, back down into their own zone. And Matthews, if he takes 2 steps, if he dives across, he could probably keep that puck in. And instead, he just kind of reaches across with one hand. He misses. And who else is it other than John Tavares, who's fucking hauling ass back down to make sure he gets there so that it's an icing. But I watched that play, and I watched him, and I know I'm cherry picking one, but it's like a moment like that to me is a perfect encapsulation of what this entire era has been. You know, this is in a lot of ways another must-win game for this team against Washington tonight. You're holding a 2-1 lead going into the third period, and it gets a little bit more tight, gets a little bit more physical. Everybody starts gripping their sticks too tight, can't find a way to bury on breakaways. We saw Lawton, we saw JT with breakaways in the third period, not holding this at their feet for this loss, not dropping it at their feet for this loss, but it's like both of them, breakaways, can't score. It's like it's just another situation of playoffs in a way that brings it all back. The puck comes back out, slips past Matthews, he reaches, he just kind of like looks at it and shrugs, goes back down the other way. William Nylander doesn't play in this one. Now, I don't know what he's dealing with sickness-wise, but it's just like, again, you know, leading into the game here today, Rosie, we don't know what's happening. Craig Berube says all week, he's going to play. And then the day of, all of a sudden he's not playing. Like, it just, this is what it's felt like for 10 years. 10 years. And we just watched it play out yet again here tonight. I can't believe it. And I mean, honestly, you look back to the days they got here, like, I think the way to put it is silver spoon, right? That's what it's called when everything's just handed to you, silver spoon. These guys have just been silver spoon from the day they got here. Like, what other organization, and I'm genuinely asking you this, is like, you played as well. What other organization can you ever think of that would refuse to let their rookies speak to the media? Like, I'm talking about a tiny little thing, you know, it's really inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, but it was like 3 years where they weren't allowed to, like, speak after a game. And we're just looking at this being like, who does that? Like, they got babied all the way through it. They got the contracts they wanted. They all got paid. They got the coach that they wanted. They got to play on the power play. They got the minutes. They got the line mates. Like, they got everything. And then things would go wrong. Clauses. No move clauses. I remember Sheldon Keefe calling out Marner after the one game after a loss to the Anaheim Ducks like 4 years ago, and he had to walk it back the next day and be like, that's not what I meant. And it's just like, it was just babied, every single one of them all the way through, and you're finally seeing what happens when you just raise spoiled little brats. That's what it is.
And I just keep coming back to when you look at the names on paper, you look at this team, it should be a better team. And it just seems like there's just an unwillingness to do what needs to be done. And this is the result.
Yeah.
And then you bring in this factor and that factor and injuries and market and bust signings and trades and losing draft picks. And it's why we're here right now. It's why we're here. And I'm interested to see. I don't think this is going to get better. Like, I don't see how they just play magic. Like, they just find a heartbeat all of a sudden and a pulse. You would have done it already if you had it in you. And if this gets darker and the schedule gets tougher, I'm actually excited to see what the answers are from the powers that be. Because it's a mess, and I can't wait to see what kind of decisions are in fact made.
The other thing, I've held you for a really long time here, Rosie, so I want to make sure that you can get out of here. It's earlier, you got a Friday night ahead of you, but the other thing too is just like, there's part of me which is really like twisted and dark to even think about this being a reality, but there's part of me that is excited to see what happens the darker it gets for the season. Like, right now it feels salvageable. How does Austin Matthews and William Nylander react in a day-to-day and in every single game when it's like this team is fucking awful around them, and like, how are they going to respond? Is there a level of pissed offness to them? Because I feel like we could learn a lot about their character, because it's always been for 9 years just like, we'll get it back. The next one will get it back. It'll be there. This is probably the first year it's not coming back. Like the next game, you're not getting those points, those opportunities. So it's another interesting thing to follow along this season here for me as well.
It's all there is to look at. I got to be honest. I've thought for a little while, like quietly, what could we get for Austin Matthews? Like, I know he has a huge cap hit and a no trade clause, but say he's just fucking miserable and wants to get out of here and stop being that guy. And I honestly think the one of the biggest reasons why they can't do it, even if he were to say, I'll waive my no trade, is that they just gave him the captaincy and stripped John Tavares of it. Like they hold their captains in such high regard. Like the locker room is lined with pictures of their captains. Like when you get to the team at the beginning of the year, they like give you a fucking history lesson on the captains from the past and what that means. And they're fine with going without a captain if they don't think someone is worthy enough. And to pull the move that they did to give it to Austin Matthews, basically right before he kind of goes off a cliff in many ways, is nuts. But I can't help but wonder, if he were to waive his no trade clause, like what could you get back in return? I don't know if we'll ever see that, but I've been interested in that conversation for a little while now.
Comments here coming in the chat, Rosie, as I let you go. That's exactly what you guys want. The Leafs to be shit so you have shit to talk about. Yes,
fuck
that's what
that.
we want.
I hate it. It's so much easier and so much better when they're good, and you're talking about what could this become and what are the line combinations and how about this guy. And I mean, last year was fun, man. And I know they relied on their goaltenders a lot, but every team that wins the cup relies on their goaltenders a lot. They win the Conn Smythe all the time.
Guess what? You're allowed to. They're on the fucking team. They play 60 minutes a night. Yeah.
They're like the biggest, but name a team that wins the Stanley Cup or goes deep to the final without just a goaltender that just keeps them in a game and is the reason they won this game, that game, and the other game. It's all the time. And yeah, the Leafs relied on that, but their D were solid too. And we didn't even talk about their D because they were good and it was fun. And those first two games in the second round last year, like, are you kidding me? There is nothing to talk about when they're playing like this. It's brutal. We get on before we hit play and we're like, this is fucking brutal, man. Nobody likes this. I hate it.
I fucking hate this too. I'm just reading the chat. It's all over the place right now. Rosie, you gave me a lot of your time tonight. I really appreciate it. There's about 700 people watching here right now, probably looking for their own form of therapy. So I appreciate you spending. I know I'm running out at this point. I genuinely am, but I appreciate you spending the time with me, because I think if it wasn't you coming on here, I probably would have spent 45 minutes screaming. So there was at least like some saving of my voice and back and forth. And I'm sure the chat appreciates hearing from you after a loss like this as well, because they're going to have to wait till Monday to get to hear from you again. So really, really appreciate you jumping on. Enjoy the rest of your nights. If you can, find a way. Find a way. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you on Monday as well. We'll see what the fuck tomorrow brings us. So it's not looking great.
You betcha, man. I'll be jumping on the After Dark a little bit more here. It's good to vent and talk and go over shit, and then you can go on with your night. But it is tough sledding, no doubt. I'm sure the people in the chat watching feel the same. But thanks for having me, dude, and good luck with the rest.
All right, Rosie. There you go. Thanks for jumping on, Jay Rosehill. Everyone who's in the chat right now, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Again, we kept Rosie on here for a really long time. Greatly appreciate him for giving us that time tonight. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. We got a bunch of other stuff to continue to get to here tonight on the post-game show. Maybe we'll open it up and take a call or two, because I want to see where people are at. It feels like it's just like an endless cycle right now. But But I might open that up and see where everyone's at. We do have some things that we have to get to anyways, just show-wise. And one of those things would be our Super Chats. We've got a bunch that have come in here. So our Super Chat charity partner is Sick Kids. You want a question or a comment read on the show, send in your Super Chats by clicking that $sign, send your message, type your message, and submit. Let's read the Super Chats. Comes in here from Maxentius Decimus. They have no forecheck. They can't play that style. I mean, look, again, it is kind of hard and kind of pathetic for me because I have no real answers to give to people and be like, well, I saw this, so this can be fixed. But it's like, you brought in guys who are slower, and I will argue to the day I die, you can be a slower team, but you have to play a style that's advantageous to the speed that you do or do not have. Like, if you are going to be a heavier team, a slower team, you have to play heavy, you have to play mean, you have to bully the fuck out of everybody, because that's what teams like the Florida Panthers, who... Our guy Cats and Rats in the chat right now, Kirby, he will confirm. I've talked with Kirby about this before. The Florida Panthers are not the fastest team in the world, but they make you play in the mud. They beat the wheels off of you. They make your life miserable. They make the neutral zone hard to get through. You want to dump the puck in their corner? That's fine. If you meet them there, they're going to beat the wheels off of you. If they dump the puck in your corner, they might get there second, but you're going to fucking feel it. So they play this brand that allows that. You know, you can be slower, but you have to play physical. The guys they have here right now either are not capable of it or are choosing not to play physical. So that's a problem right now. You look at your star players. William Nylander is playing out of his goddamn mind offensively. Like, out of his mind offensively. And yet you look at the defensive side of the puck, and it's not that he can't do it. He just chooses not to. And I think he can kind of get buried in the play a little bit if he's on your second line. And, you know, Matthews and Nyes are back, and they're helping out, and they take up more of the minutes. And Max Domi isn't the guy that you're looking at as your 2C, and Bobby McMahon and Nick Robertson aren't your second line guys. Like, you can bury everything down, and William Nylander's defensive woes don't look as problematic. And I mean, to add to that, your defense was also better, so it helps negate some of those issues that William Nylander brings. And when he's playing so well offensively, a lot of times you can look past it, or you could kind of clean things up, massage it over, and be like, well, we're playing well defensively, we're getting the goaltending, so Willie, you can take those chances, and you could be top 10 in the league in scoring and in points, because it's okay on the other side of the puck. Well, it's not there right now. Austin Matthews, this guy looks like a guy who's legitimately a second-line center right now. Like, this is $13 million Phil Deneau, and quite honestly, at this point, it's disrespect to Phil Deneau for throwing that out there, because Phil Deneau at least actually plays with some fucking heart and some grind and goes balls to the wall when he goes on the ice. Matthews is just out there for a skate. He's a really talented player who's out there for a skate, and I don't know if that's because of injury, or I don't know if that's because he just doesn't want to. I don't know if it's because he's not capable of it. I'm not sure anymore, because it just feels like we've dealt with this similar situation just in different variations for now 10 years of this. And you know, you look at the Stars, they have those issues, they have those warts. You look at the defensive side of the game, and the guys you have back playing defensively, they're not very good. They've all slowed down. They've all taken a step back. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is, like, by far the best guy that you have defensively on the back end right now. Like not even close. And I'm sorry to Jake McCabe. He's really struggling. And if it wasn't for Oliver Ekman-Larsson, I'd argue that the beginning of this season would be even worse than what it is right now. Like, I don't know how you could look at the body of work they've put together and then suggest that this should be better in any way. Like, they are actually overperforming points-wise how they've played on the ice. It's an atrocity all the way around. And you look at OEL and you're like, thank fucking God you're out there, because when he's playing, you're at least getting some offense. He's providing some points. He provides some bite to his game, and then you just look at the other five guys, and it's just slow, step behind the play, all of it. It is a mess. It's a mess. all the way through this fucking lineup right now. It's a goddamn disaster. I don't know. Again, this is just going back to the super chat there from Max Entius, who's saying they can't play that style. Like, they can't or they don't want to is also part of the question. Because I'd agree that it's not perfectly suited for them, which is a Berube issue for him to force this down their throats. But I think that on the other side of the coin is also these guys just kind of being like, I'm not that interested in playing that way, so I'm not going to play that way. And that's where I fall in the middle of this situation, where there has to be some give and take, and it feels like neither of them are willing to get there. And I think there has to be a level of compromise for you to get over the hump. Like, I guarantee you there's shit that the guys in Tampa probably did not want to do when John Cooper first got there, and there's probably a way John Cooper wanted them to play, and they've kind of had to adapt. John Cooper probably figures things out. Okay, this is the group I have. I'll twist how I want this to be played, this structure, this style, the pace, the tempo, whatever, the breakout, the zone entries. I'll shift it based on who I have. I want to play this way, but let's adjust. And then the other side says, I don't want to do that, but we have to buy into some of these things because he's giving us this. And there's pushback. And then you win 2 Stanley Cups. Again, not saying that you win 2 Stanley Cups here with these guys, but it's just, I think that there's an element either way where it's like, if we can buy into this ideology, you can give us some more freedom and we can fucking meet in the middle and have some success. And that's just, unfortunately, that's just not the case for this group right now, and it's starting to really, 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 really fucking drive me up a wall. And I mean, I see again the comment here, Lee Hacker, who I'm pretty sure is Mitch Marner's uncle, says, be honest, Zach, you love this shit. No, not at all. This is fucking miserable. Last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs, those 2 rounds were some of the most fun that I had had when they were winning and when they were pushing. And when they get to Game 7, it's some of the most fun that I had had. It's some of the most anxiety and some of the most nerves that I've experienced here as a fan entirely. But, like, this is not fun. Knowing that this group has effectively reached the end and we're looking at some type of retool, rebuild, and probably missing the playoffs, like, this is not fun. It's not fun. It's just not at all. And I don't enjoy this at all. This is pretty fucking shit, to be completely honest with you. I'll open this up. I'll take like 1 or 2 callers here tonight. It's pinned at the top of the chat there right now. You guys want to call into the show, call in. I'll start taking some people, but I'm going to make this quick. I'm going to give people, unless I want to extend this, I'll give people a couple minutes, and then every person will have like 3 minutes, and then we'll get out of here. Per person. We do have more super chats though before I can get to some of these people, so I want to make sure I read these. Next super chat does come in from Max Entius. Again, the fans care more about winning than these losers. Look, I mean, I genuinely think that at this point there is an element of like, I don't want to say not caring, because like I don't think you get to this point in your lives. I don't think you get to the NHL because you don't care or without caring. I think they care, but I think that there's more interest in getting cookies than there is in winning hockey games. I think they still care about winning hockey games, but I think that there's more interest in getting their points and getting their power play time and that kind of stuff than there is in the other aspects of the game. Next super chat here. B. Khalid, that's our guy. He called in the other day and he just went anti-Prague, pissed Prague off. Again, a reminder, you want to call into the show, link is pinned at the top. you want a question or a comment read on the show, send in those super chats. Proceeds from our super chats do go to Sick Kids Charity. This super chat comes in from B. Khalid. B. Khalid says, McKenna season, trade Domi for 4 firsts. Let's go, Prague. Yeah, that ain't happening. Not from the press box. Michael, Rosie, what do you think the board will do? I think Rosie kind of answered that. Nobody knows. Michael as well says, Zach, I asked you last week, if you're a GM, if the team misses playoffs, you'll be fired. If you get top 5 pick, you keep a jog, what are you going to do? Again, I told you, I don't think that right now the GM is going to allow this to be the case where you just fall off. I think the GM currently is a guy who's going to fight for it. As well, just quickly here, we did hit 50. We hit 100, so I'll do the first 50. But every set of 50 likes, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, I don't care. We have over 550 people watching the show right now. If you like the stream, we do the smelling salts, every set of 50. So we'll do the first ones. Almost killed me the other day. Producer Vic loved that one. Here's the smelling salts. All right, there's the first ones. I owe you guys another one because we did hit 100, so keep a tally on that, but let's get to 150. And with that, let's open up the phone lines here. I got a bunch of people. I'm going to give everyone a quick bit to give their thoughts, maybe go back and forth a tad, but then we'll get people in and out. And Prague, who I see queued up there, that does mean you too. But let's welcome to the show back here, Alex A. Alex, how are you feeling after this one tonight?
I'm just over it at this point, man. We just need to retool, blow it up. I don't even know. Something along the lines of that, like you guys were just talking about. So I think there's no saving this. Maybe they somehow squeak in a playoff, but I think at this point you may as well just try and retool. Like I don't think it's gonna work which is what you were saying, and I think we just gotta go ahead and accept it. And yeah, like I don't know. It's really frustrating, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's just reality at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, Alex. I can't believe that this is the situation that we're in. To be this bad this fast is maybe better because it rips the Band-Aid off faster, to be honest with you, which I know that like Lee, Hacker, and 6 1/3 in the chat are loving hearing right now, saying this proves that you hate this team or all that bullshit, which is just not true. But I mean, I think it's probably better because then maybe you just don't go hanging on, and being just always in that bubble area. Maybe you can just definitively make some changes here now and recognize what the fuck is wrong with this team before it gets way too far. But yeah, it's frustrating, Alex. I'll say that. It's very, very frustrating.
Yeah, one thing I'll tell the chat to defend you is I've known Zach for a while, and I could tell you this much: Zach wants to see this team win more than anything, and so do I, and I'm sure all these other callers do. Maybe there's some people in the chat that just really like to pray on Leafs downfall because there's some haters, I'm sure, in here. But like, it's just I can't say I'm surprised, and I don't think you are either with the effort levels and just the kind of players that we just know they are. We've seen it for 9 years for a majority of these guys, or for what, 5, 6 of them. So I don't know. I like you mentioned the other day with me, I'd rather just see some young guns go in there. I'd rather be bad for a few years, even if you could do like a, what do you call it, like a retool, right? And maybe go around a few guys and be bad and at least have some hope with getting some young players, seeing something fresh, seeing, maybe trying to actually, sell some assets or trade some assets away. Like, it'd just be something different. Like, I don't know. Like, I like watching young players. Like, I've loved watching Easton Cowan and, and Nyes, obviously. I'm a big fan of Nyes. And it's just like, it's nice seeing these young players because they haven't been here 9 years and seeing them do the same ballerina stuff on the ice. So it's kind of, it's refreshing. And that's something I'd love to, see in the future. It's sad I'm even talking like this because when Matthews came into the league, I was a huge, huge, huge fan of him, and it's just been disappointing, especially these last 2 years with, I don't know, his health or whatever's gone on with him, and it's just, I don't know. I'm open to trading him. I've been open for a little bit now, and it's just sad to say. Like, I hate even that these words are coming out of my mouth, but it's the truth, and I'm an honest fan. It is what it is.
And I think that's fair. I think you have every right to be, Alex. I'm going to try to make this one here tonight a little bit more like everybody can come on, give their thoughts. Let me know how you feel. Maybe I'll jump in here and there and add some thoughts and commentary along the way, because I think there's a bunch of people who want to call in tonight, and I don't want to stop people from giving their thoughts. So with that, we'll keep things moving here a little bit. One more final thought from you, Alex, here before I let you go and I get to the next caller.
If we lose the rest of the games from tomorrow, like through next week, I think Berube's fired at the end of like next week. That's my prediction, and I think that it'll show if these guys really want to fight for the coach, in my opinion. But which I don't really think they do. I think they're kind of over it. I don't think they're interested in his style of play, and I think that's just my prediction. We'll see what happens, but I think he's going to get canned. And like I've said before, I don't think it's his fault, and you don't either. But you know what? It is what it is, and we'll continue to talk, Zach, and we'll another day, and maybe we'll be talking about Berube being canned and someone else coming in. Who knows?
Who knows? Alex, I do appreciate it as always. You have been around for a very long time, and I appreciate the calls, the good times, the bad times, all of it. So thanks for hopping on here tonight. We got a bunch more people who are waiting in the queue to call in, so I'm excited. This is the most people I've seen in the postgame queue in the history of me doing this show. So Alex, you enjoy the rest of your night. I'm going to get to some more callers here, and we'll rattle through some people and their thoughts. But Alex, with that, thank you, and enjoy the rest of your night here, brother.
Thanks for having me, Zach, and everybody get ready for the rest of these callers coming in. There's a handful of them, so enjoy. Thanks, Zach.
All right, there you go. There's Alex A jumping on to break this one down. He's not wrong. There's a lot of people who are waiting here right now. And again, I don't want to make people wait that long. I know everyone's going to want to give their thoughts extended, but I'll probably try to keep it to a 3 to 5 minute window for each person who calls in to just keep it a little bit easier and more on the rails. So with that, let's get to our next caller here on the line. Jake, do I got you there?
Hey, Zach, how's it going?
Could be a lot better. I mean, I think some people in the chat right now think that this is the greatest day of my life, that this team stinks, but that is not the case. I think part of why it's so frustrating right now is because I do love this team so much, but it's not going great, Jake.
No, it's not going good at all. I mean, I didn't really like the game that much at all. I thought Michelli was going to come in and actually maybe do something, fight for a spot. I thought he played horrible that entire game.
Yep.
Couldn't string a pass together. I don't know how you can keep rolling out Michelli, Yarncroke. I'm not a fan of either of them, and even Domi too. He's been absolutely atrocious this year. I think he's on a less than a 30-point pace right now. I don't even know where we go from here. Zach, what do you think? Do you think we try and trade someone, try and make some moves with Vancouver, Nashville to change it up? Because obviously we're not going to just blow it up and just tank this year. But what do you think we do?
Well, what I think we do, and what I personally would do, and my approach is different. I think that there's a level of desperation from the guys at MLSE and from Brad Treliving to get this back on the rails. And I think that they are looking and interested in going out and acquiring pieces to fix this. So, that's what I think they will do, Jake. I think they're trying to add guys to shore up the middle six. I think that they're probably trying to find ways to effectively erase their mistakes. I think, Dakota Joshua, Michelli, as you mentioned, Max Domi, those kinds of guys, Brad Treliving probably looks at right now and says, let's see if we can get rid of them, because then it's it never happened, and try to see if we can turn this around. It's not the approach that I would take, because I think you have to dig yourself deeper into this hole for that to work. And you're going to dig and dig and dig deeper. And basically, if you get there, Jake, you're going to be praying that somebody throws in a rope. And if the rope doesn't get thrown in, you're burying yourself alive. That's the reality, right? Because if you go out and you trade what little assets and young guys and future that you have remaining to try to fix this, and it doesn't fix it, you're up shit's creek without a paddle, because now you've
Yeah.
tanked the team and you have no picks, prospects, future, and you're going to be sitting there waiting for a long time at that point to see if you can turn things around. So my approach would be different. I just try to see if what I could do in the next month in terms of like the guys in the room. The first step to me is the coach. Change the system, change the voice, and if that doesn't work, then you start to look and see if you can figure out how to get people out, flush the guys out, and see what you can get back for assets. Because reality is, Jake, you're not getting back first-round picks for a lot of these guys right now. Some of these people are going to hold you over the barrel and see if they can get them, like they can get you to wilt. But I think that you kind of try to see what you could find in terms of seconds and thirds and fourths and start to restock the shelves there. Maybe you find some young kid who all of a sudden can come out of nowhere, who was somebody that some person didn't believe in it anymore in the AHL, and you can get rid of somebody that you have, and that guy comes here and he helps you. I don't know. That's a prayer. That's hoping that stuff works, but that's kind of the approach that I would take. Coach first, see what happens. If nothing, then start to get the ball rolling on getting this retool going.
Yeah, like honestly, kind of going off what Alex said too. It's like if we lose like the next 3 games coming up, like I can't see how Berube's still around. It sucks. It sucks because I mean we won our division last year, and now all this shit's happening. So I mean it sucked to get a new voice. Like I do like Berube, but I mean if nothing's working and the players aren't buying in, I mean like there's not really much you could do. It's gonna be the coach first. So I mean like do you think if we lose the next like 3 games, 4 games, you think he's probably gonna get canned?
I think if they lose tomorrow, he's canned. I know that it's like I know that the conversation has been they're not even thinking about that, but something has to change, and that's the one that's easier than moving players. Like, unfortunately, it's the reality because, again, even to your point, you talked about Domi and Michelli and Joshua aren't playing well right now. Like, the thing I think we got to come to a realization as a fan base is, so what do you think you're getting back for them? If they fucking suck here, who was looking at these guys being like, I need that piece? Like, it's not like you're being able to dish these guys off and getting amazing returns back. So I think you got to make a small change, see what happens, maybe start offloading some of those guys and getting them out of here, maybe give kids from the AHL a chance, but it's just minor changes rather than going out and acquiring pieces. And I think that would start with a loss tomorrow to Pittsburgh, because if they lose that one, you lose back-to-back, you're pretty much cementing yourself as a bottom, as the team that's in last place in the Eastern Conference, and I think it's too hard of a hole to start to dig out of as you continue to drop points like that. Because right now, Jake, it's manageable. You're still within reach. I brought it up with Rosie. If they beat Washington tonight, they were 3 points back of the Senators, who were in third place in the Atlantic. This loss, you're now even further down that rung, saying, "Holy shit, we're that much farther away."
No, I know, and that's the thing. Like seeing how close our division is. Like that's the problem. Like if we start going on, like especially now, if we go on like another 2 game, like we lose our next 2-3 games, like we gotta, like at the end of the day, you gotta do something. Like Tree's probably gonna have to, I guess but even Tree's job, like it's gotta be on the line too. I mean, if Berube gets canned and we get a new coach, whoever that may be. I mean, if even the new voice doesn't help, like I'm like, do you think even Brad's job is even all on the line too? You think?
Yes.
He might lose it as well.
Yes, I would think so. I mean, he did also take the ownership of like, this was my fault. This is me who brought these guys in effectively, and these guys aren't playing that way. So, I mean, I appreciate the accountability that he took, but that would also mean that there's an understanding from not just him, but the people around him, whether it's the AGMs, the scouts, Keith Pelly, the board at MLSE, whether it's all of them, they're looking at it being like, yeah, then it is you. And to Rosie's point in terms of the money, then the other thing is, how many of these guys are you going to start to look at and being like, we have to pay our way out of this? MLSE is a business at the end of the day. And, as much as we want to make fun of them for saying, hey, all they want to do is sell tickets, Okay, sure, maybe the other thing that they don't want to do, is just pay guys not to play here or coach here or manage here. So it'll be a strategic approach to get out of this one, that's for sure. But yeah, I could see that. Jake, you got anything else for us here tonight before I go to the next caller?
No, I'm good. I think I took up enough time there. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, Zach.
I appreciate you calling in. You're welcome back anytime. I think this is your first time calling in, right?
Yeah, my first time calling. I've been watching the show for a while now. I love the show, so I thought I'd call and just get your input on things.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome back anytime. We'll be taking callers all season long. We've been taking so many calls, Jake, and it is game 20-4. So many
it's fucking crazy.
Insane. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Take care.
There's Jake hopping on here to break this one down. We got more callers. Let's keep rattling through these guys. Next, sorry, I don't mean to make you guys like cattle on this one, rattling through, but we're motoring on. There's a lot of people who want to call in. Let's go to the next one here. Let's go to our guy, Samurai. Sam, how you doing here tonight?
I'm well, it hasn't really changed, I guess, from the last time we talked. I was hoping it'd be more positive, and I almost called in the last game, but man,
so you're loving that this team's bad too. You're just like what the people in the chat are saying, Sam. You hate this team and you want to see them do poorly.
Exactly, man. How'd you tell?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Anyways, continue.
What about Fryer, Berube, and all that? That might do something, but man, you got to change the nucleus of this. It just can't continue. It has to, and you have to try to recuperate some assets here. This is a sinking ship, essentially, in my opinion. I mean, there's still lots of hockey to be played. Miracles do happen, right? But man, this team lacks enthusiasm. It's bad. And you look at Cowan's goal the other night, right? He's fired up. Looks like Patrick Kane, just so pumped. Looks like Ovi when he scores his 900 or 840th goal. Doesn't even matter. Every goal, it's the best thing ever. They don't have any of that enthusiasm. Matthews gets a nasty assist, and there's just all right, nice, yeah, no problem.
It's like the goal that Nylander scored. You watch Nylander, and I mean, I guess there is an element of it's just business. Keep it moving, in terms of, hey, we're in a shit spot and you don't want to go too nuts. But it's that is infectious, man. Everybody looks like they don't give a fuck right now. Everybody looks like they don't care. And then you watch Nylander score the OT winner, and you ISO cam each guy on the ice. It's Nylander who scores the goal, and he just turns and he goes like this. Then you look at Matthews, who was open in the corner, who got looked off, which, by the way, I think there's got to be some realization there from Matthews' side of things. He looked pissed that the pass didn't come to him. But it's dude, you're the reason that goal gets scored, because Jet Greaves is cheating across to you, but he just kind of goes like this after the goal is scored, and the guys on the bench are all kind of yeah, nice, and Berube walks off, and it's just I know that it's not the Stanley Cup and we're not in the playoffs, but you're in a desperate situation. You look like you don't give a fuck when you score goals, when you win games, and then everybody else looks like they don't give a fuck. It just feels miserable right now.
And when you're losing, you're just desperate for scraps, really, right? So when you get something, it's why not capitalize? Why not try to build upon that? And yeah, exactly. It's infectious. It's enthusiasm. You need it. And I mean, if you fire Berube, I saw a comment and it was if you fire Berube, why don't you bring in a guy like Torts, who will be really hard on these guys and will sit them, will say you're not getting any ice time if you're not going to back check, whatever. And not even just for that sake, but for the sake of maybe getting some guys so fed up that they're willing to move those damn no move clauses and give you a list.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a crazy way to look at it, but that's a fair point, Sam. You want guys to waive their no moves? Get Torts in here to start screaming at them and see what happens.
Man, I'm all for it. I saw it was Apple something in the chat, so this one wasn't my idea, but when I saw that in Reddit, I was like, that is clever. I would definitely, at this point, I'd say yeah, because this nonchalant shit, I can't take it anymore, man. It drives me nuts. I'd rather like Shane Corson on the team who needs to get told to calm down. Like calm down, Shane. You're too intense, man. Like we need some of that.
Yeah, it's you know what, and that's the one thing with the Kadri situation, and I've heard people constantly refer back to it, and it was Jeff Merrick who brought it up, and it's a great point, and other people have said it too. Is you'd rather, if you're a coach especially, you'd rather rein somebody in than have to paint stripes on the tiger. You'd rather rein somebody in and tell them, like, calm the fuck down than have to go to a guy and say, let's get going. Because if you have to tell the guy to calm down, like, you're in a much better spot where you could at least hope he can reel it in, and it's going to at least bring that energy up. If you have guys that you're having to constantly remind, hey, let's get going, let's get some fight in you, let's get some fucking energy, that's bad, especially when they're your leaders. Like, it's a tough spot to be in here, Sam.
And you know what? Back to Kadri, too, there, like, it's been, I think, 9 years or 8 years since that series where Marner's in the corner and he gets hit by Chara and I want to say DeBrusque, right? And Marner just gets like destroyed, right? And out of nowhere comes Kadri, full throttle, not a second of hesitation, and he just throws a massive check. Obviously, he gets suspended, right? But my dad still, to this day, is like, that's still one of my favorite plays ever because someone actually gave a shit. Yeah. And like they don't ever stand up for each other even. Like it's so like, oh yeah, I gotta hold you so I, don't look like I'm weak, but I ain't gonna do anything. And like it's so tiring. It doesn't look like a hockey club, It's rough.
It is rough. Anything else for us here, Sam? And then we'll get to the next caller of the night.
I would honestly, when you think about if they got the top 5 pick and maybe they got really lucky, 1 or 2, I'd take Verhoff over McKenna because we just have been starved of a top defenseman for like.
Hey, we're getting greedy years. Now, man. We're getting greedy.
I'm just saying, we can't even take McKenna. Just let another team have him. We need a defenseman so bad. Can't do with Morgan Riley anymore. That's all I got.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Sam. Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Look forward to hearing from you as the season goes on, and enjoy the rest of your night.
I'll come on here when they win one of these times, buddy. Have a good one.
Thank you. There you go. There's Sam calling in, giving his thoughts on tonight's game and the season as a whole and what to do going forward. Getting greedy. Wants Verhoff instead of McKenna. We're looking at who we're picking in the first overall pick now, not just hoping we get it. Let's go to our next caller here on the line. Let's go to Zach F. Zach, do I got you there?
Yes, you do. How you doing, man?
I'm all right. This does feel like somewhat of a therapy session, and it's kind of funny because this is the most callers I think I've had on the postgame the entire time I've done the show, and just getting to sit here and hear everybody else be as miserable as I am and just tell me that they are also feeling the same way. Somehow, I don't think it makes me feel better, but I just think it just kind of numbs it a little bit where it's just like, man, we're all in this together.
Yeah, I agree, man. I hate the dump and chase. I can't take it anymore. Like they go the dump and chase and they get a line change. It's like ridiculous. Like,
you know what? Tonight was the first night. I'm not going to pretend that I'm in love with the dump and chase, but tonight was the first night where I was like losing my shit watching it happen. Because Zach, how many times are they in their own zone for like 10 minutes? They just get hemmed in. The cycle is going on like crazy. And I get that at that point you're tired. So like it's 2 parts to it, but like you get hemmed in, you get your shit kicked, and it's like we finally get the puck back. And on the rare instance that you can get the puck out of the zone because they're so bad at breaking it out, they just like get to center ice and they're like, all right.
Flick it, that's it.
And I'm like, yo, we just spent 2 minutes getting that thing back. Why are we just giving it to them? And how many times, Zach, are they just dumping and not chasing? It just goes in there, and they're just like, all right, I need a change. Which I get it, you're tired, but like, holy fuck, we're just the whole time. Get the puck back, fight for your life, and in the corner. Tonight I was losing my mind watching it.
Yeah. Like, did you see, I don't know if you watched the Matthews interview, like, in the intermission. He says, "Yeah, this game is pretty boring. You know, like we just gotta keep putting the pressure." Like it's ridiculous. Like this is not working. You remember Sheldon Keefe hockey days? Like they would put up high number, like scoring like 6 goals, 5 goals, 4 goals. Like this is like a joke.
It's frustrating because I think Keefe's was more geared to what these guys were capable of, but I think they need to meet somewhere in the middle, Zach. You know? Like they can't do what Berube's doing fully, but they couldn't do what Keefe was doing, regardless of how fun people in the chat found it. And I get it. You scored a lot. They put up points in the regular season, but it proved time and time again it didn't work in the playoffs, despite working in the regular season. So it's like there's a middle ground here. There's somewhere in the middle where you could do what Berube asks you, and you could do those things, and you could play more free and more offensively, like what Keefe was letting you do, and you could find a way to merge them. You'd be an amazing team. But just they've had guys who are like, do this here, do that there, and then they couldn't figure out either one, and now they're in last place.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's great. What else you got for us, Zach?
I got so many things to say, honestly. Like, with firing the coach, like who are we gonna bring in that's gonna like save, like, you know, like who's gonna fix the problem? Like, who else is there? Bruce Bruto? Who else? Like,
to be completely honest with you, I don't know. Like, I don't know how that one went up there. I don't know who the answer is. I don't know who it is that you bring in here to do it. I wonder if it's maybe looking and finding somebody who's in the AHL, if it's just an interim guy, if it's Bruce Boudreau, if he wants to coach again, if maybe Pete DeBoer would be interested. I think you exhaust your options, but to me, I think the reality would just be it needs to be something different, and it needs to be a different approach, a different style, and more importantly, a different voice, because I don't want to give them the excuse of it, but I do think that at some point they could just tune it out. And while it's not going well right now, if he's continuing to bring that same messaging and the frustration, then I think that that's where it gets sticky, where he could go in there every single day, be as frustrated as he is, and then at some point when it doesn't change, they're just like, fuck this guy. Whether or not you think that's right or wrong, I don't really care. I do care. I more so just mean, like, it doesn't matter if you think that's right or wrong. Like, it happens is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know who the answer is, Zach, to be completely honest with you, but I think you have to find somebody. I don't know. That's kind of a fraudulent answer for somebody who comes on here and talks about this stuff every time, but like, I just don't know the answer to that, Zach. I don't know the answer. It just has to be different.
They played like so good last year. Like, they adapt to his, like, what he wants them to do, and this year is like a different issue. Like, I don't understand. Just
That's
without Marner,
confusing.
like, it's a joke.
It is a joke. I get a couple more things from you here, Zach. What else is bothering you here right now with this team?
I don't have a take that I'm thinking Matthews probably won't even play tomorrow. Maybe an injury or a sick day off, just like Nylander. Like, they keep saying, oh yeah, these guys are all right, they're healthy, they're good, but
doesn't look it.
No.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I don't know. I actually don't think that's that hot of a take. I think that maybe just because of the desperation of the team right now, and like the fact that you need to win tomorrow night, essentially, like you're playing for the coach's life and maybe the organization's life at this point. You have to win, and I think maybe there's an understanding that he's got to play. It was a weird thing today too. I don't know if you caught this, Zach, or if anybody else did, but there was the conversation of, well, Nylander wants to play. I'm like, okay. So
why isn't he playing then?
He can't play. He wants to play. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about? How is this the case? He wants to play. He can't. Oh, you know, we're holding him out. What the fuck is going on? Like, again, I don't know how sick he is. I don't know if it's holding him back. I don't know if it's something that could just rip through and ruin the rest of the room, in which case, sure, hold him out. It's not even necessarily about him being sick that is confusing to me. It's like the way they speak about it, I just don't get.
It keeps everything private.
What?
They keep everything private. It's ridiculous.
It's weird. All right, one more thing from you, Zach, before I go to the next caller.
One more thing for me and Nylander, like the defending is just shit, man. Like I get so fucking pissed off. He just glides. Like it's a joke. Like at least Matthews, like he tries a little, but I don't know.
No, I'm with you. It's very frustrating. Like I love the guy offensively. I think he's
he's good.
The best offensive players in the world. It's just very frustrating because I know it's not just that he's bad at defense. Like if he was just bad in the defensive zone, that's one thing. But a lot of times you could just see him straight legging it, you know, 2 hands on his stick, up in the air at his hips. And it's like when that stuff starts happening, that's when my head starts to explode, where I'm like, if you just battled, if you just fucking put in the work and you just chose to do it, you'd be amazing. And he just doesn't. And then I think that again, just kind of affects the rest of the room and the rest of the guys on the bench.
Yeah, like you see one guy not trying, so fuck, why should I try? You know, like just take at least one extra stride. Like try, like at least pretend you care.
Yeah, and at that, the guy making $11 million and one of the faces of the franchise, and then why should I care? All right, Zach, I appreciate you calling in. Great name.
Thank you.
Great name. Welcome back anytime. I appreciated this. I enjoyed the call, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you, Zach. Have a good night. Hopefully we win tomorrow, eh?
Hopefully we win tomorrow. It'll be an interesting one after that one if they don't. But thanks, Zach. Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
There you go. There's Zach. Great name on him. Great name jumping on. We got more people here in the chat waiting to call in. So let's go to this one here. I see him commenting all the time, but he's never called into the show. Apparently he was the one with the suggestion that Samurai brought to the table earlier, so I'm interested to see, as I spell his name wrong on my title bar, but there we go, we got it. Let's welcome to the program for the first time ever, Apple Pie Club. Mr. Apple Pie, Mrs. Apple Pie, I'm not sure which. How are you doing here tonight? Do we have the Apple Pie Club? Hello? Apple Pie Club. Apple Pie Club, can you hear me? Okay. Nothing from the Apple Pie Club right now. Let's go to the next caller here while we wait. Maybe the Apple Pie Club will figure it out. Let me know in the chat, Apple Pie Club. I see you on all the time. Let's get Brandon here into the program. Brandon, do you got me?
What's going on? How you doing, Zach?
There we go. I'm doing all right here now. Again, the therapy session I think is helping us out. But how are you doing tonight, Brandon?
I'm doing the same thing as you. Yeah, I really appreciate that. You know what? I don't want to take up too much of your time here, but definitely I agree with a little bit with your last caller was saying about our captain Austin Matthews. There, like we need a little bit more of a dog out here. We need more frustration. We need more grit. We need more, snot. You know what I mean? Like it's just getting a little bit too crazy out there. Like we just need more. So I'm wondering if you kind of agree with that, or if you've been seeing that. Like I know with the injury stuff, that's okay. Everyone they go through that kind of stuff, but our captain has to be our guy. Like after Tavares being stripped with his C, and he's playing incredible for us right now. Like incredible. Like he's doing really good. He's in the corners. He's like in every single spot. But Matthews, even I saw him back checking a little bit tonight, and it was just casual. And we need more snot. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's. I think it has to be directed the right way, right? Like I agree with you 100%, but I think that the problem here is not that they don't have enough snot. In terms of the, well, actually, let me rephrase this. I think the problem is not that they haven't brought enough snot in years past. You look at Nola Chari, Nick Foligno, Ryan O'Reilly, Labushkin, Luke Shen, like they brought in snot around them. And I think that this is where the conversation gets lost in all of this, is that they brought in the snot around them. I think ultimately at the end of the day, the issue is that the guys who you need to be leading from the front don't have the snot. It's not about bringing in enough snot. Like at this point, I've given up on the snot conversation when it comes to bringing in guys with snot. It's not about bringing in guys with snot around them. It's about the guys that are leading this ship having snot, because you want the guy who's at the front of the boat saying charge and running in and steering the ship and putting his sword above his head and say, let's fucking go. Let's kill these guys. And instead, it's like the little henchmen who are at the sides of the boat with their swords out, and the leaders of the crew are underneath counting their coins. Like that's what's happening right now, and you can only get so far when that's the case. Yeah, 100%. And I think that they constantly tried to bring in snot and sandpaper. There's a debate going on in the chat right now about whether you call it snot or sandpaper. I don't give a fuck what you call it. It's either one of them. You bring in snot or sandpaper, whichever one people want to get in particular about. They bring those guys in around them. That's great. You don't have it from the guys who are at the top. And I think one of the problems that they've had, I don't know if you agree with this, Brandon, but one of the problems that they had is that they kept bringing in guys around them with snot, and then they kept being like, we still don't have enough snot. And so the solution was to bring in guys who had, in their eyes, more snot and less skill, and it still never solved the issue of Matthews, Nylander, Tavares, Marner not having the snot, Morgan Rielly not having the snot. And now you've just ended up in a situation where you just don't have those guys having any snot, and you have guys who are just supposed to only have snot and just don't have the ability to play anymore, and now your team's fucking shit.
Yeah, and like 100% agree with that. Like that is exactly pretty much bang on. But what I want to see, especially out of Matthews, is just being like, guys, like we got to rally. We need frustration. We need to get out there. Like, back in the day, we look at Steve Yzerman, like we look at McKinnon, like we look at these top players, like even McDavid back in the playoffs back in the day when he fucking lost his stuff on in the locker room. Like we need that. Like don't you feel like we just kind of need that little bit more frustration and
yes.
That's kind of what I feel that we're lacking right now. There's a bunch of stuff we can go over. We can talk about this for hours, but like there's other stuff I just want to address the one issue. But I feel that he just needs to lead by example, do his thing. I know with the injury stuff, like I said before, but we just got to get it done here. Like,
yeah, I agree. And look, I see people in the chat, and it's like, I'm with you here, Brandon. I'm on the same page, and I see people in the chat getting pissed off, being like, well, the team's not skilled enough anymore. Like, the whole point is not about bringing in fighters around the team. That's not what it is. And nobody's asking Matthews and Nylander and Tavares and Marner to go out there and to be the ones who are like fighting Matthew Olivier. Like, that's not the reality. But
that's not what I'm asking. Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
Sure.
But like as you brought up there, McKinnon, throwing his helmet at Connor Garland, McKinnon fighting Charlie McAvoy, Connor McDavid losing his shit and breaking sticks on the bench and screaming at guys in the room. These guys on this team who are supposed to be your leaders, they don't have that. You watch them and it's all like deadpan faces, no emotion, nothing going on. And then, in the rare instance that you do see somebody step up and say something, it's somebody saying something who's not leading by example anymore. Like Game 7, Mitch Marner looking down and being like, we need to start hitting people. Let's fucking go. And he's got the driest hair I've ever seen anybody play any professional sport ever have in the history of professional sports. And it's just like
a hair commercial.
Say
That's
that.
Exactly
yeah,
what it was.
It's a hair commercial. You should have got fucking L'Oreal or whatever sponsoring him after that. It's just like you look at the guy, you can say that message, but now if you're not going to play that way, why would anybody else step up with you? So, I'm with you 100%. I think the problem has just been that the guys that you've decided to build around at this point, they just didn't have the DNA that it takes to be a winner. They are complementary pieces on winning teams. They are guys you can win with, but they are not the guys that lead you to the Stanley Cup. They're not the guy who picks up the Stanley Cup first. The guy who picks up the Stanley Cup first is the guy who runs headfirst through a wall so that you can win the Stanley Cup. These guys would rather not. They would stay anywhere away from that situation, and I think that is what we've learned is the problem with the group of guys that they assembled here. They just didn't. They don't.
Yeah, perfectly put. And that's exactly how I feel. Like we just don't see that, that accountability and like all that kind of stuff. Like these guys are just, we have to build some better building blocks here in the next little bit, whether we got to tear it down or whatever. If Matthew's going to be sticking around, which I'm a big fan of him, of course, like always have been, but it's, we need to work something out. Like this massive fan base deserves it since 67. Like we got to figure something out here, but I'll leave it at that. Other than that, love it. And we'll go from there.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you calling in here. I appreciate the input, and I hope to hear from you soon, man. I think it's first time calling in as well. A lot of first-timers here tonight want to give their opinions, but I welcome anybody and everybody who wants to call in and give their thoughts. So thank you, Brandon. Appreciate it, buddy. Okay, take care. There you go. There's Brandon jumping on the postgame show. First time, as I said, a lot of first-timers here tonight to give their thoughts. Some people who have called back are calling back in for a second, third, fourth, 100th time, like our guy Alex A in the chat. First-timers like Brandon and Zach here jumping on. It's been a mixed bag of people giving their thoughts on tonight, as well as Jay Rosehill, who stopped by earlier. But one thing we do have is 100. That second one that I promised, so 100 likes on the stream. We're almost at 150, so we'll do that as well when we get to 150. But here's the smelling salts for 100 likes. Thank you for liking. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Leaf Station 401 right here on YouTube. Smelling salts. Just quickly here, before we get to our next caller, I want to do our best bet of the night. So our best bet segment is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, use promo code NATION. That's NATION, code NATION, NATION at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Tonight's best bet, we had two of them. One is void. So one of them we get the money back on because he did not play. So that one ends up going void on the night here. We get the money back on William Nylander over 2.5 shots on goal. Doesn't play, you don't lose it, you just don't get the money for it. So Nylander goes to a push on that one. That would bring our record to 10-25-1. The one that we lose on the night here is a $10 bet on Dakota Joshua anytime goal. It would have profited $90 for us here tonight if Dakota Joshua had scored at plus 900. Unfortunately, Dakota Joshua does not come through. I thought Dakota Joshua might have some type of response game. He does not. He did not have it. He could not figure it out. We lose that one. $10 brings us to minus $115 on the season. That would be 1.15 units on the year. 10-26-1 record this year. Let's get now to our next caller who we've got waiting on the line. Let's welcome to the show as well another first-time caller, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Noah G. How's it going here tonight, Noah?
What's up,
Noah?
bro?
There we go. Noah, how's it going?
Hey. I'm all right, you?
I'm not bad. Could be doing better, but I think at least there's becoming a clearer picture here for this team that it is just it's not going to work. So that's the reality of our situation here right now, Noah.
This is sick to be on here, bro. It's pretty cool.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. You got any thoughts on this game tonight or how the season's gone?
I want to start off with this. I'm 16, and I've been following this team since Matthews, Marner, Nylander's first year in the NHL. And this
How
is the
old were
first
you
year.
when that was the first? If you're 16.
I was like 7.
I'm not laughing at your age. I just am realizing how long like this has been going on.
Yeah. And like, I just want to say this, like, okay, the playoff struggles are tough, but I know every single year going into the season, this team will be competitive. They'll be good. And I guess I've just taken it for granted. And this year, it's been a wake up call. And man, like every time I watch the game, I just want to smash my TV with the baseball bat. Like I'm getting fed up, man. You know what I mean? Like, how do you deal with this? I know the Leafs are bad before I started to watch. How do you deal with this, man?
I guess this is the first time for you to be experiencing this. I'm sorry it's going this way. You just kind of you hope that there's a plan in place, which right now it does not feel like that there's a plan in place, Noah. So I mean, I can't imagine what world of pain you're going through watching these games right now. But yeah, I mean, Alberga brought it up the other day, right? It does feel like we took it for granted that they would be in the playoffs every single year and kind of forgot what that was like. But I don't know. My personal opinion, Noah, is that it's better off trying something new and having it not work and realizing rather than trying the same thing over and over again. But it's Samurai points out, you only know pain. I guess you do only know pain, but you experience 82 games of happiness and then pain.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's an absolute battle, Noah. It's an absolute battle. I'll be honest with you.
I go back to when they lost to Florida. Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, in class with my friends, we'd always look at, like, the free agents and the trade targets. And we'd be like, oh, what's his playoff stats? Me and my friends. Like, what's his playoff stats? What we didn't realize, we were dumb. You have to make the playoffs first. You know what I mean? Like, God, man. Like, it sucks. I remember, like, me and my, Puck GM?
Yep.
Yeah, we used to make those Puck GMs in class. We put, like, Bennett on the team and, like, Marchand. And then, in reality, you get fucking Matthias Michelli. And we're like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what is this, bro?
Dude, I was doing the same thing. Year ended last year. I got Sam Bennett and Brad Marchand on the team. We're trying to find a way to add Aaron Ekblad. Can they trade for, I don't know who it is. Are they trading for Brandon Montour? Like, what can we do to get this thing in a better position?
We get Michael fucking Pezzetta. Like,
we're getting Michael Pezzetta, Matthias Michelli, and Dakota Joshua.
One guy that I really wish they signed, because I look at this team this year and, like, Mikael Granlund, like, he would have been the perfect right wing with Matthews and Nyes.
Yeah.
Like, he's a playmaker, and you look at his playoff stats, too, they're really good. Like, damn, yeah. Brad is just so dumb, man. Holy. Like, who is he asking? Like, who, like, what scouts are going to these games? They obviously don't know hockey. Holy. Who said it was a good idea to trade for Dakota Joshua? Fire them instantly.
I'm appreciating this energy right now. Dude, I don't know. It's mistake after mistake after mistake right now. I think it's a combination of shit. The system that they're playing, the guys that were brought here, the leadership and the culture that's been established. It's just a complete disaster all the way around. But Noah, I'm with you, man. I mean, it's just looking at the people they brought in, and you're wondering, how the fuck did this happen? How is this identified as the guy, or how are these issues not identified in the first place? I'm shocked to be here, man.
I know, man. Like, I see, like, a lot of people hating on Morgan Rielly, and the hate is justified. But let me just say this. Like, I was looking at the Leafs stats today, and I was like, oh my God, Morgan Rielly has more points than Austin Matthews. What is going on?
Yep.
I know. Oh my. Like, I remember 2 years ago, Austin Matthews had 69 goals, and, like, I'm going nuts. You know, and he was on my fantasy team. I'm like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, having a good time. And now this year, it's like, I don't know, man. It's brutal. I'm glad I'm getting you some energy and firing you up. That's what I do with my friends all the time. I try to make people laugh, but, like, I'm going nuts here, man. Like, I'm going nuts.
You are giving me life. You are giving me life right now. I'll be real honest about it. You are giving me life right now. So I do appreciate that a lot, because just the fresh perspective of it coming in here is helping this out, especially as we approach hour 2 of the show right now, or to close out hour 2, sorry. But yeah, I mean, like, look, there's not too much I can add to it. Like, I'm in agreement with you. It's just looking at the guys being like, what the fuck happened? How is this happening? How are these guys playing this way? Where is the energy? Why do they not give a fuck? I just have no answers. I got no answers anymore. No, I don't have any more answers.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, Brube was a good coach last year. I was really happy when we hired him because, like, he's a good coach when it's, like, the good players. But I'm sorry. Like, a couple weeks ago, I went to a Leafs game, and you always see the line combinations before the game. I'm like, all right. And I see the first line. It's like, Hallie Yarncroke. I'm like, who told him this is a good idea, man? Like, who told Craig Brube this? Like, was it a Nashville Predators fan from 2017? Like, what's going on over here? Like, oh,
good
my
point.
Man.
Good point. And it's confusing too because it changes every game and it changes every period and it changes from morning skate to warm up to the first shift to the second period to the third period. It's a mess. Like the blender that's going on right now is outrageous.
I'm a massive Jays fan, right? And I didn't really watch the beginning of the Leaf season. Like, okay, I would tune in when they played when the Jays didn't.
Yeah.
But after the Jays lost, I was like, you know what? The Leafs are back. You know what I mean? At least the Leafs. And man, I just see there's no friendship. Like, I love watching the Jays, see all them love each other, man. Like, it does something, you know what I mean? I never felt that way about a team because my hockey team is always just ass. Like in the playoffs, they have no love for each other. You know what I mean? And seeing this Leafs team, I don't think I've ever seen a picture with them outside of the arena. You know what I mean? I don't think
Another
I've ever
good
seen
point.
that once.
Yeah. No. It's like they feel very cliquey. They feel like they don't hang out, which is weird to say, but it's true.
I want to really quick tune in on the William Nylander stuff because my friends call me the William Nylander Glazer, right?
Okay.
And and let me say one thing. The defense. Okay, boys. Okay, chill out. He is one of the best offense players in the NHL. And if he wasn't on this team, we would be worse than the Niagara Ice Dogs. I do not want to hear it. Oh my God.
Okay. Hold on. One pushback. I've agreed with everything you said so far. I got a pushback. Do you not agree that if he committed more to the defensive side of the puck, it's not just him that would benefit from it, it's the team as a whole? Because I believe, I'm under the impression that the guys on the ice would be better if he was more involved on the defensive side of things. I think that the rest of the guys would buy in more watching him play that defensive style or buying into the defensive zone. And I just think it raises everybody if he does that. So that's my pushback because I agree with you on the offensive side, but no, I just still think if he buys in more defensively, you're in a better spot.
That's why I agree with you there. Willie's terrible at defense. I'm his number one fan. He's brutal, man. I want to pluck my eyes out when I watch him in our own zone. But man, that's why you have to shelter him. You know what I mean? Because Willie doesn't need good offensive players. You know what's that? Willie last year, I remember one time he went out with a line with Scott Lawton and Pontus Holmberg, and he still scored. I was like, wow. You know what I mean?
Yes, he can drive his own line.
And he could drive his own line. And that's why this might sound crazy. A lot of people are like, oh, this team sucks without Marner. I miss Pontus Holmberg, man. I miss Pontus Holmberg. I can't believe I'm saying this. He would drop penalties. He held on to the puck. Sorry. It was so hard to take it off him. I miss Pontus Holmberg. I can't believe I'm saying that. If you told me in the summer I'd be saying I miss Pontus Holmberg, I'd be like, you're nuts, man. You know what I mean? I think he would have been I don't even know what this team, man. I see Austin and I see more people saying the gritty. I agree with that. Austin, I would love a captain who has firepower, but man, at the same time, at least a few years ago, he'd be like, okay, Austin's not gritty, but you could count on him scoring. Today people are saying, oh. And today people were saying, oh my God, look at that pass. Nice. He dropped Ovechkin. Oh my God, he dropped a 40-year-old man. Good job, Austin. Good job, bro. My friend calling me, oh my God, you see that Austin dropped Obi? Oh my God, Obi looks like he's 55 years old. I don't want to hear it. Honestly, man, I'm going nuts, man. I always make my friends have a good laugh because I'm going nuts, man. This keeps making me go senile, honestly. Whenever I see your lines, I see Domi playing center and having aneurysms. Honestly, I'm like, what's going on here, man?
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what this team has to do.
Yeah. No, look, I feel you. I think there's actually a decent point as well by L. Hawker in the chat. He says, Willie not only... Well, I would disagree with this. I don't think Willie is bad defensively. I think he's not the greatest defensive player in the league. I think he just doesn't care about defense, which I think is the problem. Because I think if he just cared, it would be a much better situation. Noah, I am so happy you called in. I appreciate it. You're welcome to call back anytime. If you're going to bring this energy, win or lose, I'm happy to have you on.
And I'll always bring the energy.
The chat is pointing out you brought great energy here, saying this is a legendary call. So, and I agree. You're welcome back anytime. The only thing here, by the way, you just let this one slide. You let this one slide, and it got pointed out by the chat. I let it slide as well. Willie Glazer. Being a Willie Glazer. Out of context. That's fucked up, man. Like, Willie Glazer. Yeah, I don't know if you should let your friends call you that.
That sounded wrong.
I don't know if you should let your friends call you that. I don't know if you should let your friends call you that.
Yeah, all right. I love Willie Nylander, man. He's the best. He's the best.
Yeah, I feel
our team would suck. But I just want to say one more thing before we pan out. Thanks again, man. I love the show. Sometimes I don't really watch Morning Take because I'm in class, but I love the show. But go Leafs, go! Let's blow it up. All right.
Thanks, Noah. There you
call back tomorrow, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Noah. There you go. Noah calling in here tonight to give his thoughts. That was good energy. That was crazy. The Willie Glazer. It slid by and chat picked that one up right away. So shout out to you guys. Okay, let's see if we can get this to work. If we can't get it to work, then we're going to move on to the final one. But let's welcome to the show here, Apple Pie Club. Apple Pie, do we have you now?
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, it sounds like you are in a submarine right now, but I could hear you.
Let me try that again.
Oh, there we go. I got you. You're good.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much, Zach. First time caller, obviously. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for calling in here. Thanks for being such a massive participant in the chat as well.
Yeah, the boys in the chat, it's always a good time, win or lose.
Hold on. You went robot mode here again. You're going robot on us again. I don't know what you did, but you're going robot, Apple Pie.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can still hear you. It's just some bad quality. It's like we're connecting to aliens or something.
Let me see if I can stop this thing. Give me a second. Sorry.
Okay, all good. There you go. Hold on. Go again.
Can you hear me now?
Still robot. Uh-oh. Apple Pie, I'm gonna get. I wanna make sure this works, so I'll stay on here with you. But I want to see if we can get this.
Let me see if I can plug in here because I'm using a wireless headphones.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hit mute here 1 second. I'll see if you can sort that out. While we have this, while Apple Pie calls in from Jupiter right now, with Apple Goo in his mic, as the chat saying, we did hit 150 likes here on the show. So make sure to keep hitting that like button. Subscribe here to the channel, Leafs Nation 401, right here on YouTube. The Leafs Nation After Dark, wherever you find your podcasts. Here's the smelling salts. Oh, there you go. Here's the smelling salts for 150. Let's see if we can get to 200 here. That's the third one of the night. But let's see. Apple Pie. Apple Pie. Anything? All right, we may have to abandon the Apple Pie Club here tonight and see if we can maybe get Apple Pie on another day. But let's go to the next caller here. It's one that I want to hear from on a night like tonight, especially with his boy in the stands. But before I can get to him, I need to make sure it's clear here. We're not going forever. I'm setting a 7-minute timer, and at 9:50 Eastern time, he will be off latest. Let's welcome to the show, Prague. Prague, do we got you now?
Yo.
Prague. There we go. Prague, how are you?
I'm good.
How are you feeling? Your boy was in the press box tonight.
Yeah, listen, there's something called accountability, but only certain people get it. Not the coaching, not the management. The Leaf fans deal with it every time. Right? You're a Leaf fan, I'm a Leaf fan. What are we going to do? I can't afford to, it doesn't make sense to buy tickets unless it's like my friend has tickets. I go to other cities to watch the games because it's cheaper and funner because the fans who are there, they're so bloody quiet. It's like worse than a funeral.
Yeah, fair.
But okay, so
Prague, you got until 9:50. I'm letting you know right now. So let's get these points.
I want to thank Berube for exposing just how trash our Leafs are. Because I've been saying this for a year, and when they hired Berube without looking at other people, because it was already said by Friedge, like months before the fire, like Sheldon was gone, we knew who was coming. We knew who was going to come in if something happened to Dubas. We knew a year before. So, like,
I don't think we did.
Yeah, they talked about Treliving the year before.
I don't think so, but
because they were like talking about why they're not looking at each other. They're not in the same box anymore. Blah blah blah. I don't care. But okay, so this was the best game Matthews has played this year. Same with Nyes, and it's pathetic. I actually don't mind most of the lines, but the thing is, here's an idea: put Willie on the third line, split it up, or put Nyes on the third line, or let Nyes rest because he's actually still injured from according to Nick Alberga. But I was yelling and screaming like even last year that we couldn't move a puck out of our zone. We got caved, right? And I said, I told all my friends, I told everybody, I even said it on at The Athletic, I think, or Twitter somewhere. Like, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to be able to do anything. Like, this is probably the best and deepest forward group we've had. I know people don't believe it, but that's because Berube keeps switching lines. We missed the 4C. We didn't mean...
That's not the...
No. How do you have chemistry? Let me ask you. If you start talking to a girl, but you say one word, and then you talk to a different girl, and then you talk to another girl, what are you going to get chemistry?
Okay, I don't disagree that the lines switch too much, but the guys playing in these roles right now are not playing well, Prague. That's the counterpoint. You can't solely say they need to continue to play together for this to fix. Like, that's not solely the solution.
How many games have we had? We've had 24 games.
24.
We've had what, 185 lines that change? Like, you told me last time they changed it three times a day. You don't even know what's going to be the line. Today you didn't have a clue because they didn't have a morning skate. Thanks for the shout out during your thing. I appreciate it. But like, honestly, I'm saying trade all the people who are on expiring contracts and basically all RD. Let our fucking Marlies and prospects re-sign frickin' Niemela. Bring them back because we don't let any of our players play. They're driving what's his face out of town. They're like, oh, it's going to cost us this and that. I'm like, dude, you haven't even tried them in playing. Minton, Rebenkin, Trevor Moore, we traded to get Jack Campbell. He's a 31 goal scorer. Dursey, freaking Liljegren, he's not even negative. He's playing 22 minutes a night. Top pair right-hand D on San Jose. Last year he was doing it too, but he was playing more. He was playing like a minute and a half PP one because they didn't have any power play players. Now he's PK. And is he doing horribly? No. Considering that team, but that team is ahead of us in the league. I'm sorry, but all these stupid takes about Nylander or Domi or fuck knows who, dude. I've gone through so many things. You remember the year we got Foligno for a first, a fourth, and a player?
Mm-hmm.
I was yelling that we needed to get the person who lives in Oakville, who got married in Toronto, and cost a second. He played for Buffalo for 1 year at $8 million. He was willing to come to Toronto. You know why? JT knows him. They grew up together.
Who's that? Taylor Hall?
Yes. We had so many players who were willing to come here, but we always go for the stupid fucking thing. Like, we don't have a pro scouting team. Like, look, all these players that other teams get, like, Steve's has as many points as Waugh and fucking Joshua, basically. And he's played like 8 games. Did you see the goal that Minton assisted the other night? Like, just because he's slow, he's 6'2", he's third line C. He's 21.
I think that the point is that they're not giving up on these guys. The point was they're identifying a need and realizing what the cost is for it. Now, I'm not saying I agree with the trades. That one is obviously a poor one, trading Fraser Minton for it, but they didn't give up on Fraser Minton, and that's why they traded him.
They gave up on Liljegren. No, let me ask you.
Yeah, because Liljegren is not that good. Liljegren is not that good, Prague.
How do you know?
I don't know. You have like a Liljegren... Because he was here for 6 years and never could find a way through. He could never find any consistency. No, because you couldn't trust him. You could not trust him,
He was
Prague.
top 4, until he got injured last year, he was top 4. He was playing our second pair, and he was killing it.
No, he was not killing it. What were you watching? Dude, he was not killing it.
Dude, honestly, you have a memory of a gnat. Honestly, sorry, Zach, but you don't.
No. I think you're just watching the wrong thing. The fact that you're saying Liljegren was playing unreal in the top 4, what were you watching? He could not handle pucks under pressure. In the playoffs, he struggled anytime the pucks would go in his corner and there was any physicality.
How many games did he get in the playoffs, Zach?
Yeah, because you could not trust him. He would play back there and be like the puck was a grenade on his stick. Because he was playing in the games, you have to take him out.
Listen.
If you see a guy go in there, Prague, and he can't play, the solution is not put him back in the next game. The solution is not to put the guy back in the next game because you say, oh, hopefully it works next one. We got to keep playing him because then he'll figure it out. He could not play in the games.
Dude, have you heard of development? I can name 100 players.
Prague, you were complaining that the guy did not play enough in the playoffs, and then you're saying development. Playoffs is not when development takes place.
The thing is, dude, if you have a coach who goes for his guys, right, instead of thinking about the team, we have a coach right now. He changed every fucking line from the first day to today without any thought process. He changed it 3 times a day, 5 times a day, 3 times a game, 3 times a period for a 4C. I don't care about injuries. You know how many games Matthews lost this year? 5. We lost 3 games for Waugh, Nyes, and whoever else. Lawton was longer, but that was a freak injury. But for a 4C. And then he refused to play the 4C that we had.
He was not the only guy who was missing. You were trying to find a first-line right winger. You couldn't find it. You rotated through different guys. You tried different guys in different situations. Dude. Yes, I agree it changed too much, but I think watching a line that doesn't work and saying, let's try it again is dumber than trying to change things.
Fans were screaming, okay, have you heard of Austin Matthews?
Oh, my God. Yes.
So he was on the U.S. development team with another player 1 year older.
Prague, we have the same conversation every time. We're talking about Jack Roslovic. Why didn't they go and get Jack Roslovic? I don't know why they didn't get him. It's too late. It's too late to have that conversation.
Dude, we needed.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do? It's too late to have that conversation.
No. It's not too late. The whole point of this.
It is. He's on a different team.
No. I don't care about trading for him. This is just an example of the same stupid thinking. Not you. I'm saying the team has always. Oh, he's too small. He's too this. He's too that. I don't give a fuck about snot or sandpaper. Dude,
how do you know that was the conversation? How do you know that was the conversation? This is an assumption you are making about what the conversation was. We have no idea. A, they had too much money thanks to your boy David Kampf, who you wanted here, your boy Max Domi, who you want here playing every night, Callie Arncroke, who are here taking up that money. You have too much of that. And then you're looking at guys like...
Okay.
And then you're looking at trying to bring in Roslovic. A, you're trying to figure out the money. B, you're trying to figure out how much money this guy wants. How do you know that he wasn't demanding a certain price point and then the Leafs finally said, we're out of here? How do you know that, Prague?
Everybody
how do you know that? And also, by the way, Leon Draisaitl is a far better player than Austin Matthews. So fuck the USNTDP and what they did 15 years ago when Austin Matthews was 16. I don't give a flying fuck what happened when he was on the training and development program. That's the stupidest fucking argument of all time. When they were 15, they put up a bunch of points together. Whoop-de-doo. Fucking take your dick out and swing that thing around because they were great when they were in high school. Who cares, Prague. Leon Draisaitl's a better player. That's why he's having the success. There is no guarantee that if he came here and he played with Austin Matthews, that it would work. There is no guarantee. So I don't know why are this pot like. How could you sit here and be like, we missed Jack Rozovic? How do you know? How do you know? You are assuming. You are assuming. You are saying you know better because you're looking in hindsight, being like Timothy Liljegren. I knew better. Timothy Liljegren was the guy. Timothy Liljegren sucked when he was here. He was not good when he was here. They did not trust him. Keith did not trust him. Berube did not trust him. Dubas did not force him to have him in the lineup. They did not trust him. They moved on from the guy. They moved on from the guy.
So are you a Dubas stan, or do you think like people make mistakes? Do you think Dubas was great at defining right-hand shot defensemen?
Oh my God. No, I'm not saying that, but the point is that it's not just one guy. It's not just Dubas. It's not just Tree Living. It's all the other people that they have around them. Pro scouts, development staff, players development, skills development. Like, these people in this organization are consulting.
No, but who calls the shot? No. Who calls the shot?
Yeah, they're at the end of all of it. But the point is, you watch every single person here identify, this guy is not a guy that you're going to have in the lineup. The coaches don't trust him, so you move on from them. Like, that's the point, Prague. Like, we're talking about fucking Timothy Liljegren, man. And the time is up.
Dude.
Give me one final thing.
No, okay, so what I'm going to say is, everybody was, like, screaming about how great Zach Hyman is on the Oilers, right? Look at his stats in the playoffs before he joined the Oilers. He would look like he's disappeared. He did great with the Oilers because he's playing first line with the best player in the world. Obviously.
So then what was the conversation about Jack Rozovic?
You're saying the same thing,
on your own conversation.
You didn't know he was going to stay healthy this long. Nobody knew that. That was the reason they let him go. But the thing is, you don't know if Roslovic would have a good workout with Matthews or not. I'm saying, just like how people, I'm saying, my point is, we have to take flyers out on players. We always go, let's trade for the big tough guy that's old, that has a good reputation. Let's get the old coach who's won one Stanley Cup based on a fucking look when the team had a decade of being the top team, one of the top teams in the league that roasted the Leafs every game. And then they had a bad year because of the fucking coach they had. What was his name? He was with Minnesota too. I forget his name. Anyways, and he's this horrible coach. But and then he won one playoff after that in 3 years. And the last year he didn't make the playoffs. He did not. Dude, my point is, last year was a mirage. And the thing is, we were all taken in because we were winning. But I was like, we get caved. We got caved by the San Jose Sharks.
You should be in the front office. You should be in the front office.
I'm not saying I'm the smartest guy.
I mean, that's what you are saying. You're saying they're the smartest guy. You're saying you identified Liljegren. I'm saying you identified these players. You identified that Jack Roslovic would have scored 135 points with the Leafs. Like, you would have identified this.
I didn't say that, dude. See how you're putting words in my mouth. I'm saying every person in this chat, every person that's a Leaf fan, sees different things. So they bring different ideas and perspectives. Personally, the last decade was a Shanna plan. It was the Shanna plan. Why couldn't trade Marner on? Why we couldn't do these other things? Like trading all these picks for what? Like, honestly, even Dubas, when he traded Sandin, he was offered 2 firsts. But we needed a defenseman, Eric Gustafsson, who is a fast. He's not great at defense.
Who's telling you this? Who told you that they were offered that?
Breach. It was his tweet. Okay. It was on.
I don't remember that being the case, but sure. Okay.
But it was not going to be. It was not going to be the Ryan Leonard pick that same year. It was going to be the next year's pick that was going to be top 10 projected, and it turned out to be number 17 or 15 or something. But even so, realize I understand people have narratives they like to bring in. I watched the Dangle podcast as well. He'll say Dubas could never make a defense. I'm looking at McCabe. I'm looking at Brody. I'm looking at Muzzin. I'm looking at Giordano. He fucked up on the right side, but that's hard to find anyways, especially during the pandemic. But I don't like. I look at,
but it's the same thing that he did with the rest of the group. He brought in good pieces. He never built a good team. He had good pieces, not the whole team. He had good pieces on defense. He didn't have the full team. He didn't have the full defensive group. He didn't have the full thing. He never put that stuff together. Like that's yes, you can look at each guy, McCabe, Brody, Muzzin. You could look at those guys, but they weren't all here together.
Pairing. Well, Muzzin's first pairing, but like.
There was separated. It was different. It was different groups of them. It was never a full thing. He brought a piece or pieces. It's like Matthews, Nylander, Marner, Tavares. He had pieces. He didn't have the rest of the puzzle. He didn't have it all.
No, but like the thing is like
Prague. We got it.
The one last thing I'm going to say is like Riley will get us a King's Ransom because not only did he get paid way less than freaking Nurse, but he's got a long contract and he's still doing well. So people look at the numbers. They look at he's 6'1". We can trade him to Vancouver or even Seattle because they need
again with the trade him to Vancouver. Why would Vancouver want Morgan Riley right now? Vancouver is bad. They are trading their guys away. Why would they trade for Morgan Riley? Again, Prague, like this is what we're talking about.
No.
Talking about a guy who makes $7.5 million, has a full no move clause, dictates his future, and you're trading from
North
a position
Vancouver.
of weakness.
His parents still live there. His whole family's from there.
It doesn't mean the Canucks want him, dude.
No, dude. Why they can't score? They got rid of older centers. They're like they can score.
They're trying to get worse.
They're not trying to get worse.
They are trading their veteran players away. They are retooling. This is not their year. They are a bad hockey team who's said they're open for business.
They're like, dude, for 14 years they've made it twice. Once in the last 5, right? And once in the last 7 or 8, whatever it is. But like the thing is,
they are open for business, Prague. They're trading guys away.
You can say they're open for business, but like, what did they do? They had the Ben Kindle pick or whatever it was this year. They traded the Dylan Gunther pick. Like I'm saying, they always trade their picks for players. They always turn around right away, regardless if it's Benning or
Prague. We gotta go.
Anyways, thank you. But like, I don't know why you get like so upset on.
All right. I think we lost connection to Prague. It just cut out on there. All right. Anyways, that'll do it. We got to do one more thing before we can get out of here. It is our Crave the Stats portion of the show. Let's get to Crave the Stats is presented by Uber Eats. Crave the Stats, a presentation of Uber Eats. Uber Eats enabling fans to maximize their fandom all season long with exclusive game day deals on the app, from game day eats to paper plates and napkins if you're hosting, to all the ingredients you need to make your favorite game day dip. Every time the Leafs are playing at home, you can get these exclusive deals in Toronto only on Uber Eats. Firehouse Subs, BOGO Brisket Hat-Trick, Kibo Sushi, the BOGO California Roll, Shelby Shawarma, the BOGO Traditional Wrap. BOGO, of course, is buy one, get one before, during, and after the game. Uber Eats is assisting every fan's hockey experience all season long. Okay, this one comes in from... this one is a new thing that we're doing here this season. Following another loss from your Toronto Maple Leafs here tonight, let's head on over to the Tankathon. It's unfortunate, but the Maple Leafs, after this loss, currently sit with the sixth best odds of the first overall draft pick. 7.5% odds for number one overall right now, it says on the draft lottery simulator. That would come in behind St. Louis, Buffalo, Vancouver, Calgary, and Nashville. I can't believe we're doing this. Like, I thought there could be a fall off, but like here... unreal. I guess at least if you want to take a positive, like the Oilers are there with us. The Panthers broke the Oilers, maybe. Maybe that's a positive. Anyways, we're back to the 2026 Draft Lottery Simulator after another loss. Devastating, to say the least. Also, I don't know why the screen is like that. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's sim the lottery. This is some fucking bullshit. Drop to 7th from 6th. There's just no positives right now. There's just nothing positive. All All right. Let's final thing. Grades of the game. We're shy of 200 likes here. We got 400 people watching. I don't know why we couldn't get it, but thank you guys for watching, liking, subscribing. Send your grades in the chat here as we wrap this thing up. Mine's easy. It's an F. I know that there are positives. Joseph Woll is really good. Easton Cowan is really good. I like Oliver Ekman-Larsson, but like Morgan Riley, no bueno. The defensive side, no bueno. Dakota Joshua, no bueno. It's an F for me. This is a failure. It was a must-win. You had a 2-0 lead. You blew it. You lost 4-2 in regulation. This is a fucking failure. All the way around, it's a failure. That's all I got here for the post-game show tonight. I appreciate every single one of you guys who watched, liked, subscribed. Make sure to find us on all podcasting platforms. Turn on automatic downloads so you don't miss any episodes, even if you miss it in live or real time here on the channel. Subscribe. That helps us a lot. Thanks to Jay Rosehill, to all of our callers, first time, multiple time, whatever you were that called in here tonight. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is what makes Leafs Nation and this channel and this show so much fun and so awesome to do. So thank you guys as always. I will be back tomorrow for another game preview right here on this channel, as well as a post-game recap for another edition of Leafs Nation After Dark. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Keep believing. For more content just like this, including game previews, post-game live shows, Leafs Morning Take Monday through Friday with Nick Alberga and Jay Rosehill with special guests, as well as instant reaction videos, make sure to be subscribed here to the Leafs Nation YouTube channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything, and